Here we go.
Bam Bam is ready for a fight, but Hacksaw Duggan's going down there too. Gaines calling both out, but Duggan and Gordy are battling at ringside. Michael Hayes has jumped off the podium, and now the gang's fighting them all. And there's Michael Hayes. They may call him a sissy, but he's right in the middle of the fight. He's always there. Boy, I mean, it's breaking loose. They're all battling. There's Buddy Roberts after Duggan. The gang is battling Gordy. Boy, it is breaking loose at ringside. The crowd is coming to their feet. There goes DiBiase, Terry Taylor, and Big Jeff Gaylord. It's one heck of a fight, ladies and gentlemen. It is breaking out. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another exciting hour, Universal Wrestling Federation.
Well,
I'm Jim
Doctor,
Ross,
we are
along with Michael
confusing
Hayes.
everybody.
Michael P.S. Hayes.
Michael P.S. Hayes, ladies and gentlemen, will call the action. You see some exciting footage from
Probably
last
the
week's
one thing not
program. We're going to talk
mentioned in
more
the
about that
intro there.
situation in just a few moments. It's going to be a phenomenal hour. Here on the
For those of you
Universal
tuning
Wrestling
in, we are
Today's main event,
previewing what
Universal
Dr.
Wrestling
SilverAge's
Federation
channel might look like in the
I
near
have to
future.
wonder, can the Fantastics take the Eddie Gilbert elbow, that patented elbow that took the titles?
Well, we're going to find that out exactly in this
Look at
hour. We're
young
also
Jim
going to have
Ross.
another feature
Wow.
involving Hyatt and Hot Stuff International. We'll see a new member of General Skandar Akbar's Devastation Incorporated. We also we'll also see the Freebirds in this hour.
Well, that'll make the whole show right there. I mean, that's what's made this the #1 syndicated wrestling program in the world, bar none, since the Freebirds came, the multi-million-dollar kids, and our contracts, and we're going to do something about it today.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, we want to say a very special thank you to all the fans that were at the Wrestling Fans Convention in Houston, Texas recently. We enjoyed visiting with the fans from all over the country, all over the world for that matter. Our congratulations go out to Hacksaw Jim Duggan for being named the Wrestler of the Year. Also for Ted DiBiase in his People's Choice Award. Cowboy Bill Watts won a very special award. And along with the Freebirds, they won a very special award as well. We certainly appreciate all the fans.
Oh,
being
I
there.
guess you're not going to go ahead and blow your own horn, right? You're not going to tell the people you got Announcer of the Year, are you?
I wasn't. Well, I'm very proud of it. I want to thank the fans for that because the wrestling fans voted that award. I sincerely do.
Well, why don't you
appreciate it.
thank me?
Why?
I mean, why?
Why should I thank
Have you
for
ever
it?
been? Were you ever chosen Announcer of the Year before?
No.
Okay,
First
enough
time.
said. Ever since we came here, this place,
Like we do.
UWF, become #1.
Comics
Ever
and
since I
hard
came
knocks.
here, announced a show with you. Now you're #1 announcer.
All right.
Enough said,
All
okay?
right.
Because I got other things on my mind. All right?
Last week.
That's right. Last week, Ken Mantell comes out here, says he's a big chief now. He's going to set down rules, and if you don't stick by him, baby, we'll make you stick by him.
Let's go back in time. Last week and join exactly what Michael Hayes is talking about. Let's go back in time 1 week.
I remember when
I'm
all this
saying,
was
you, Ted
going
DiBiase,
on, for real.
and you, Michael Hayes, go to the back and stay there. Michael, you may have the right to be here, but if you don't go to the back and you don't stay there, you're going to be suspended without pay.
He could
All right, ladies
turn
and
that
gentlemen,
hair,
sending
turn that
Ted
head,
DiBiase and Michael Hayes back
and
to the
get the
dressing
crowd
room
going.
prior to the UWF
Oh, yeah.
Heavyweight Championship
And I
match.
went back.
He was a
right?
heat
I
magnet,
went
that's
back.
for sure.
I did what I
I've
was
got to get a
told.
shirt
Say
like
we
this.
don't
This is
do what we're
awesome.
told. Did what we were told. Because he's the UWF champion. He doesn't need my help. He doesn't need anybody's help. And what happened? Ken Mantell did not stick to what he said. Ted DiBiase came running out there, and I am sick of this. We're going to get something done
I did
about it.
used to have
Matter
a
of
pair of
fact,
Wait,
sunglasses
wait just
like
a second.
that, though.
Let's go back in
Yeah.
time once again and join the closing
Yeah.
moments of the UWF
can't find
Heavyweight
mine.
Championship
I want
matchup.
DiBiase suspended.
There was a masked man that came to the ring.
Masked man, don't give me that masked man. It was DiBiase. You just roll the film, and we're going to get him suspended. You understand me? Right now. Just roll it.
It was one of the hottest territories for a while there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, Buddy Robert. We got Terry Gordy tied up in the rope. Oh, but see the numbers game. He is down. Wait, he's coming in. The Masked Man. Oh. Who is that Masked Man?
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Hayes becoming more irate as the moments progressed here in our opening portion of the program, has now gone to the ring. Let's go to the ring and join Michael Hayes.
All right. I don't know if you think that our mama raised some fools, but she did. Last week, Ken Mantell comes out here, big shot, runs me off, runs DiBiase off, and says, if either one of you come back, you're suspended without pay. I kept my end of the bargain, and I didn't come back, and everybody here knows, and everybody at TV knows, because you just seen it, that Ken DiBiase came back here. I want Ken, yeah, you come here. Come here, man, let me tell you something.
Now, did you ever see this before, Michael? Micah?
Not,
Did you ever see this? Did you ever see
not
this?
live, not when it was going on.
No.
Only much later. Now, they're bringing in the vice president, basically. His acting is, well, we'll give him a B- here. You'll see what I mean, folks.
You paid us the money. Now
He's a snazzy dresser.
Yeah.
First of all, let me tell you this, Mantell. I'm getting to where I don't like you a little bit. Second of all, it was
I
you
love Terry
and
Gordy.
it was that thick-headed cowboy who signed us for $1 billion. And not only that, I am the Universal Heavyweight Champion, and I'm telling you, something ought to be done. All we want is things to be fair.
He was really young,
Now,
too.
suspended.
Terry Gordy was.
All right, here goes the great dialogue.
First of all, Michael Hayes and the Freebirds. Number one, yes, you're like a lot of other overpaid athletes. But I want to tell you one thing. You don't own this company. Matter of fact, if you want to know the truth about it, this company owns you. And you talk about contracts. Yeah. Well, I just happen to have a copy of yours with me.
Uh-oh.
Number one, I told you and Ted DiBiase that if you came back, you'd be suspended without pay. And I didn't come back. You didn't come back, but he did. And the other man that came was a masked man, so I don't know who he is. Oh, you do too. Now I'm gonna tell you this. We've had our lawyers going over this with a fine-tooth comb.
We have been shut down.
Oh, well. YouTube did?
Yes.
Did they strike? Did they put a strike on it?
I don't know. Stream unavailable. Stream suspended for policy violations. Copyright notice. Stream streams are automatically enabled. Your stream was interrupted. Streams are interrupted when copyright content is detected. Streams are automatically re-enabled when there's no more copyright footage going on. So let me remove this. Well, we found out something.
I guess so. Well, it's good to find out that way, I guess. I don't know. Now that it's not a strike, though. It's not a strike against you, is it?
I don't know yet. It didn't say. It just has shut me down momentarily. I'm going to write in the chat. Let us know.
Did anybody show up?
Yeah, we've got Movie World, Shannon, somebody called the Great Legend. I said, let us know when we're back on. It says, StreamYard tells me I got 3 people watching me, but I don't know what they're seeing. Now it's down to 2. I'm probably one of those because I'm looking at the. Okay. Okay. Well. I think we're back.
Yeah, it says on my thing. It says live up in the corner, and I don't think the clock is kept as stopped. It says 11:31, 32, 33. So we're back.
I think so. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen,
Nice experiment there.
Dr. SilverAge and I tried a little video package where we were going to give our reaction to some old wrestling footage. And we've actually practiced this before. As a dry run, we thought we'd give it a shot live. And YouTube has shut us down. So I don't know who all could be out there watching. Let us know if you can still see us. All right. Well, you live and learn. So hopefully you all enjoyed the great wrestling action while you could see it. YouTube is so smart. After about 5 minutes, YouTube realized what was going on, and they put a stop to it. So what you were looking at was some 1980s UWF action, the Great Fabulous Free Birds, and I guess I can describe it to them. But they saw it. And we must have been going for 10 minutes at least.
Yeah, I was going to say it had to be close to 10 minutes. Classic stuff from Bill Watts' organization, the UWF, Universal Wrestling Federation.
We were only going to do this for about 30 minutes, and then we were going to just talk about books, pop culture, you name it. If you look closely up into the stream chat, you'll see the link to join Rod and I. We are winging this on a whim. We did not plan with anybody. But I think I made one phone call. So if you'd like to join us, while we don't do anything that gets me a strike, here is the link, and welcome aboard. Now, Doctor, I've shown you this before because you are a Hulk fan.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. What am I saying? I'm a Hulk fan. I'm such a Hulk fan. I will tell on myself to the 5 people that are watching right now. I used to, I was an only child. So I didn't have any brothers to, tell me how stupid I was behaving. I would tear my shirt and get my mother's green food coloring for cake making or whatever. And I would paint myself up green, and I'd run around the backyard and terrorize the dog, because I didn't have any villains to chase. But I was very much a Hulk fan. So
yeah, we used to do the same thing, or I used to do the same thing, except I used green chalk. You make chalk dust, and then you rub it on your face and hands. Cut up an old T-shirt.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We did the same thing. We down in the basement throwing things around, like you were lifting up boulders and stuff like. Yeah. Oh yeah.
The doghouse, we had a flat roof on the doghouse, and so I had a open end cardboard box, and I'm up there, and I'm gonna trap that poor dog when the dog comes out, and dog's just looking at me like I'm an idiot, So he ain't gonna come out. So
No.
but
Oh yeah. Those were the good old days. Didn't have to worry about nothing. You didn't have anything on your mind but what toy you're going to play with next. What cartoon you were going to watch, I'll
show another record later, but hopefully everyone has the Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Steranko. Yeah.
The great thing about this one is I have to find it, but of course the coloring is fantastic. But there was a section in there where I'm getting close. Some of those Strange Tales, you had to buy 2 copies if you wanted to, and unfold the pages and put them side by side together. But this book does it for you.
Oh wow!
So you don't have to put 2 copies and then open up.
That's pretty cool.
The pages side by side, so
yeah,
folds out this way. You can see I'm not exactly being gentle, and it can still handle it. And
yeah, that's pretty neat. That was pretty cool.
It even had the note in there from Stan Lee. We tricked you into buying 2 copies. And so here, years later, when you get this trade, now you don't have to buy 2. You just have this nice little trade.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
And of course, from that classic image right there, that's like one of the trademark images of. And speaking of trademarks, we blew it. I will find out how much trouble I am with YouTube later. Hello, Captain. Yeah. Yeah, we went and did a bad thing. Nah, we'll be fine. I heard that happened to Night Tiger once. He was going over some music, and he kept showing AC/DC or somebody, and it kept cutting out on him because he kept showing clips of videos. So, but
yeah, I'm not sure who owns it. I don't think the WWE owns the UWF footage. I think Bill Watts still kept that. I don't think he ever sold it to the WWE. So I'm not sure who would. Yeah, dress for winter. Yeah, well, it's a little cool down here. Going back to wrestling,
Oh dear.
Pile driver off the bed. Oh no. Oh, yeah. We used to do that. We had like a stockade type fence out in our front yard, and that was like one half of the ring. That was with the ropes. So we go into the ropes and come off, and we do the Polish hammer or clothesline or something like that. Oh, we'd all limp home. It was fun though, man. You couldn't. Man, it was a lot of fun. And Saturday mornings were obviously a staple for cartoons, but they were also a staple for roller derby, because they used to show roller derby on, which was basically just pro wrestling on wheels, and of course pro wrestling. So I used to. I've always been. My grandfather got me hooked on wrestling when I was knee high to a grasshopper, and I loved it ever since. And I've always been a fan. Collected the magazines, and I got tons and tons and tons of VHS tapes that I recorded, pay-per-views, regular syndicated shows, stuff all the way back to like 82, I think it is, 82, 83, somewhere in there, where I first got my first VHS recorder and started. That was what I wanted it for, is to record cartoons and wrestling. You know, I thought I was king of the world then. Don't call them names. Oh man, yeah, that was a lot of fun. And now I'm both my son and my daughter are big wrestling fans, so it's great because we get to, hang out. When we hang out together, we might watch some wrestling, or we'll get together for a pay-per-view or something like that, get a pizza and stuff. It's fun. It's a fun thing, so, but yeah, if I'd have been, I honestly think this, if I'd have been born, 6'4", dude, I would have given my shot at being in the ring. I would have, because I just love it. I love the physicality of it, and the just the promos. I love the promos that they cut and stuff. Oh, it's awesome stuff. I got into for a while on the internet. I don't know if it's still popular, if it's even a thing, but I used to call it e-wrestling, where you would create a character, you would write promos, send them into this organization. Somebody would head this little wrestling thing and match you up, and you'd cut promos against your opponent, and whoever cut the best promo would win the matches. And I had a character that I created called Lone Wolf Brody Thunder. And he was a Western character, kind of a hardcore guy, not hardcore as in chains and whips and all that kind of stuff, but he was raw bone. He was like a cross between Arn Anderson and Stan Hansen.
That's going way back.
Yeah,
Stan the Lariat. Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to have him voted. I think it was 1997 or 98. They used to do a year-end awards for all the feds and stuff like that. And I was lucky enough to have Brody Thunder named the number one guy. He was voted number one. So it was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun writing them promos and coming up with stuff. And just great stuff. Great stuff. A lot of fun. So, were you always a wrestling fan, Micah, or no, or just got into it late, or
got into it late? Was a football fan.
Yeah.
And then one day you just started noticing it on Saturday mornings. You started noticing all the craziness, and but I would watch Ric Flair, Steamboat, and those guys, and then Hogan, of course.
Yeah.
And I didn't care for anybody else in Hogan's group, but him. And I thought they were all a bunch of just dumb characters.
Yep. In the 80s, that's what they did. They made almost cartoon-like characters.
Now, I liked the Sheik. You're not supposed to like the bad guys, but
now which Sheik? Now, you like the Iron Sheik or the original Sheik, or the
Iron Sheik? Because he had those heavy
the Persian clubs, and
he would do that little twirl thing.
Yeah.
And he'd let the other guy try it, and the other guy could almost do it, but I thought, what? So if he ever gets your head in his, you ain't getting out of that.
Well, not only that, but he was, I believe, an Olympic wrestler.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen his. There's a documentary out on it, and it kind of shows him and his life kind of exploding. But
I think his real name was Vasiri. I'm not sure, but he was the real deal. My favorite, Jimmy Snuka, Superfly. Oh yes, great matches with Don Morocco, and great matches with Bob Backlund. I remember him jumping off the cage.
Yeah.
I think it was on Backlund. First time I ever seen anybody jump off the top of the cage, and he did it with his Superfly splash. That was crazy.
What I didn't like the guys that they told me I should like. Well, when I say they, that's the program,
The baby face.
The program says you're supposed to love Rowdy Piper. And I liked his movies, but I didn't care for the character. Anytime a guy was a loudmouth, I wanted him to get his face punched in. And he was a loudmouth. So, but I come from that old school of, let's get on the football field and we'll find out. And so I, growing up as a kid, I was not a Muhammad Ali fan. That guy needed to shut up. So I was a Frazier fan or a Ken Norton fan, and I rooted for anybody that was going to hopefully possibly shut him up. But
I was a huge Marvin Hagler fan.
Okay,
the middleweight.
Okay. Yeah,
I really liked him. I thought he was a tough son of a gun, and I just liked the way he worked. I also liked Sugar Ray Leonard.
Okay,
he was another one I liked, and I liked Muhammad Ali. I thought he did things that you'd never had seen before in a boxing ring. The whole rope-a-dope and all that stuff. So it was he could have been a pro wrestler. In fact, he did get involved once with Vince McMahon in the WWF.
Oh yeah.
They did a thing where he went in and did something, and Gorilla Monsoon grabbed him by the wrist and pulled him over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like 1975, I think, somewhere around in there. But yeah, it was.
People don't know Gorilla from wrestling; they just know him from talking with Bobby Heenan. But he was up.
Yeah, he was a big dude, and he could wrestle.
Body style. He was a tough guy. Not the same body shape as King Kong Bundy, but he's in that gargantuan state of mind. But that guy could move, and he had great matches with Superstar. But
yeah, because by the time the people nowadays, know him, it was long past his career by the time he got real popular. He was a heel throughout the 60s. He used to have a big old bushy beard and everything. So yeah, he was a heel for a good portion of his career. He was served up to like Bruno Sammartino, who was champion at the time, through the late 60s. So, but yeah, he was a legit deal too. He could wrestle. So George the Animal Steel. Yes, George the Animal Steel. The Professor. He was a teacher. It was so funny when I first found that out. He was a teacher, I think, up in Detroit or something like that, Michigan somewhere, or Minneapolis maybe. I don't know. But it was over that way. He was a teacher. He was a professor or something. And it was just like, you would not. And it still was weird, even later on in life. And he had retired and everything. You'd see him do like a shoot interview on YouTube or something, and it just freaked me out because you never heard him talk before. It's like Abdullah the Butcher. When you hear Abdullah the Butcher talk for the first time, he's got a southern accent and everything. What? I didn't think he could talk. It's funny. It's just really enjoyed it. A lot of crazy characters. I always see up here where I live, up in New Hampshire, Maine. We always had WWE or WWF, WFWE. WWE. So that's pretty much what we got right up until about 1980, 81, somewhere in there. And the USA Network then put on Tully Blanchard's father's organization, Southwest Championship Wrestling. And oh my gosh, that opened up a whole new world for me. Sunday mornings, 11 o'clock. Southwest champion, Bruiser Bob Sweet Dan, he was their champion. They had a young Ricky Morton, who was part of the Rock and Roll, would later become part of the Rock and Roll Express, and still wrestling, I believe, today. Him and Robert Gibson.
Yeah.
But it was Ken Morton was, I think it was Ken Lucas was his partner then. So, but oh yeah, I could talk wrestling all day long. I've always been a fan. I'm a, what do you call it? Not like a historian type person, fan of it. I love all the history of it. And the more you read the books from the wrestlers of what happened and stuff, like now I can put together, okay, that's why he disappeared from here and nobody saw him until he turned up here and he was doing this gimmick. You learn what the connecting dots were. And that to me, that's fascinating. Just as fascinating as the stuff they do in the ring. Nowadays, it's very much gymnastics, and that's not taking away anything from any of them because they are still tremendous athletes to be able to do the stuff they do in that ring, So.
Anyway, for those of you that are just now looking at us, all four of you, Dr. SilverAge and I tried to show a little video, and YouTube did not like it. This is one that I've put on the private side of my YouTube channel. YouTube didn't have any problem with it then, but all of a sudden they have a problem with it now. So, okay, now we're just rambling, and this is the day before the fossils get together. So I don't know if this will mean anything to anybody, but Doctor and I, yes, Doctor and I are just going to show each other some stuff, or we're going to pretend we're the fossils. So
you don't want to trigger the Gil Kane alert though.
Here. Let me practice. All right, let's go to Dr. SilverAge real quick. All right.
Oh, there we go. Oh, we go. Look at that. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, what else do we got? Oh, we got some old Batman. You want me to show some old Batman?
Sure.
All right. We got, what is this one? 217. I love this cover. Just the perspective of it, and of course the artwork in it. But, and I there's something about this logo. I do like this logo too. So, what else we got? 219. That doesn't look like it's gonna work out well for Batman. He's shoved out of a airplane.
I think the story's he's like a senator. He like took over for a senator, Bruce Wayne, filling out his term like as an appointee.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but
and they shoving him out the door.
And that's why it said the vote or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Death casts the deciding vote. And here is 221. Classic Neil Adams. I love Neil Adams. 224.
That's when Daredevil showed up, huh?
In 224?
That's not Daredevil.
I was going to say, I'm looking at him like maybe Hunchback. Are you ready for Batman's moment of truth? Well, here it comes. It's him. No, it can't be. Oh, and we got little Catwoman And it's a Batman fights the Legion of Feline Furies.
Oh, it's a good bondage cover.
Oh, there you go. Never crossed my mind when I buy these things. That never crosses my mind that it's a bondage cover or anything. I never thought of that in comics. You know what I mean? It wasn't until, actually probably fairly recently, within the last 10 years, that I really paid attention to, oh, yeah, they call them bondage comics. 206, taking that last mile, walking that last mile. This is the end. Dun, 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 dun.
Now, they attach an apparatus to your head if you're going in the electric chair. He's got that mask on.
Yeah, how's that going to play out?
I don't know. Maybe they'll lethal inject him. I don't know.
Oh, and maybe they did it, and now they're bringing it back for another try.
Yeah.
So see, 2 for the price of 1. And we got Death Trap 207. Right, bright yellow cover. 2 of those. Oh, it's too bad Shannon not in the audience yet, because here's a Commandy.
He was before YouTube canceled us.
Oh, really?
I don't know if he hung around or not.
It's number 8. What are these? These look like they're busts. Like that's Nixon. That looks like Kennedy.
Oh,
That
yes.
might be LBJ.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to read that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got some Hawk and the Doves. Let's see here. Going backwards. Number 5. I think I got number 6 up there behind me. So, but here, I love this one because it's a nice dark cover, black cover. I'm not going to tell you who the artist is, though, because treading lightly here.
I have no idea.
Here's number 4, another bright yellow cover. I always like these kind of oddball third tier characters, Here's number 3. This one is by a different artist. You might recognize this one.
Yep.
A little bit go. And same thing with this one here. This is number 1. So, what else do I got back here? I got some Fighting 5. I couldn't tell you what the number is, though. Oh, yes, this is number 29. I did write it on the back. So if Steve's out there, there's a little Charlton action for him. And this is number 30. And we got Ghostly Tales, number 91.
Wow.
Another Ghostly Tales. This is number 89.
That guy's head has got a man inside his head. Wow, that's weird.
It's trippy. And then we got Gunmaster, number 1.
And Gumboy. Wow.
So, what else? Oh, we got. Oh. I hear you there, Domino. What are you doing? Okay. How about some My Greatest Adventure? Number 80. First appearance of the Doom Patrol. 81. Jump in anytime you want to, Micah.
That's amazing. I don't.
82.
I don't have any Doom Patrol.
Did you watch the Brave and the Bold cartoon?
Very sparingly.
I think it was on Brave and the Bold. Yeah, it was one of the Brave and the Bolds where they do a little thing about the Doom Patrol. And this is like one of the images they show on it. They show a couple of different things. Oh no, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe they were just shorts. Oh, now I'm confused. But they did like a short Doom Patrol thing, and they showed a bunch of stuff that come from some of these covers that they did, and it was pretty cool for us, us old time fans. It was like, oh, that's cool. I know, I've seen that on the cover. Blah blah blah. It was pretty cool. There we go with number 83.
No, I had the New Teen Titans from the 80s. And of course, they would go back and they would chat about the Doom Patrol because of Beast Boy.
Right.
But no, I never got to really look at them.
That New Teen Titans, way back in the day, the story where they had the cover of whatchamacallit, Robot Man, and he was like, all beat up and kind of hanging on some kind of a monument or something out in the woods or rock or something out in the jungle or something. And it says the search for the Doom Patrol. That's still one of my favorite covers and one of my favorite stories because they hadn't been around, had appeared for a while. Hawk and Dove didn't have any superpowers. I don't think so. I think they would just strictly, put them up. They got their powers from, what was it? Lords of Chaos, Order and Chaos, I think it was. Something like that.
And I wouldn't know what kind of power Dove would have besides the power not to hit you or something. But I don't know.
There's 84. And I got one more out. And this is number 85.
Great. That's great.
Oh, love the Doom Patrol. I've always been a favorite of mine. So you got anything you want to show?
Yeah. I'll show the
all right,
the vast throng of crowd we've got going. I told you I'd show you another record. Let me put myself full screen. Here's one.
Wow.
I've got Adam West to sign it, and he put my name on it. So
awesome. Oh, that's cool, Micah.
Yeah, I think it's an original. You've seen Gratu. He has one. The colors are newer. He has, I think, a reissue. But this, I believe this is the real
deal, the original.
Or, the 60s equivalent for, I guess it says 20th Century Fox. Yeah, best wishes to Micah. So
that's cool.
And I remember when I saw Adam West, I sheepishly walked up to him and says, "I bet you haven't seen one of these in a while." And he just rolled his eyes. I'm sure he sees them every day, but to me, I hadn't seen one of these,
Yeah.
And I assume he's signing posters of himself over and over again, and he'd like to see something that's. But I'm sure he's seen it a billion times. And I've put a Dr. Doom thumbnail for this video. I don't know how Dr. Doom related will be, but here's this lovely book. So, and there's some Dr. Doom with the Submariner. So
yeah, classic.
always nice to have one of those. You haven't been on the Fossil Show lately, but I'm going to be selling a lot of my posters to at a convention coming up. So
Very cool. Yeah, I remember you saying it. It's in November, right?
Yep, first Saturday in November.
Yeah. That's cool.
Who do we got going? Oh, hello, Christopher. Glad you stayed with us after our first trial and error. Yeah, Adam must autograph.
Yeah, absolutely. It is awesome. Awesome.
Let's see. Well, I'll pretend to be Gratu and show some great magazines. I'm going to show basically one, but this is a Popular Mechanics. And I like to camp, so right up my alley. And that's how I cook our breakfast when we're camping, on a little Coleman stove. But anyway, this is from the 50s. It's May of 1954. So I'll just briefly show some of the ads.
Very cool.
And well, if you wanted to make your own camper.
Oh yeah, look at that. It looks like way too much work.
Yes. I wouldn't have the patience for this, but I just love every now and then they got some color.
Yeah, well, there you go.
They're pretty thick. So and full of art. So you were paying 35 cents in 1954 for something that big compared to a comic book. There we go. So just a little shorter than a comic book, but very thick.
Almost like a pulp, almost.
Yeah. It feels like that when you're holding it. So.
Oh.
And it's got great little clip art. If my camera would behave. And impress your friends and learn magic tricks. Ha ha ha.
That was the other thing I always wanted to be, was a magician.
And you can restore old cars as a hobby. Vintage cars were very popular back in the 20s. You ever notice that? You watch those old movies? Boy, those guys sure like those vintage cars. Here's the new 54 Mercury at the bottom there. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Great stuff there. Don't worry, folks. I'm almost done. And this guy looks like he knows what he's talking about.
Mm.
Buy this gadget, folks. So that was Popular Mechanics, 1954. That brings back memories, I'm sure, everybody watching. See the chat here. Yes, I'm sure Chris has probably had plenty of camping.
Mm.
Yeah. He probably had to carry the entire campground with him and then put it up when he got there. So, folks, I haven't seen Dr. SilverAge in a while, and I called him up and I said, "Hey, let's start chatting and let everybody hear our chat." So that's what we're doing. So
just kind of hanging out today.
Yeah. And I've put the link in the chat. If you would like to come and join us, feel free.
We got the.
What else you got? Oh, some Rawhide Kid.
Yeah, king size special #1 Rawhide Kid. Hey, Michael. What else we got? Oh, there's another Rawhide Kid. Number 136. And then a little Sergeant Fury, number 24. When the Howlers hit the home front.
Rania, Eric is not here to say that. Yeah, I thought we might get away with showing Kid. But no, she's not going to let us get away with anything.
You got to represent.
Yeah.
Yes. King size special annual number 3.
I've got one as well. I love it. They're in
since Eric's not around, yeah.
they're in Vietnam.
How about let's see, The Living Mummy, Supernatural Thrillers, number 15.
Oh, I wonder who could have drawn that.
That make it easier.
You're cutting off, but yeah.
Thor 174. Challenge of the Crypto Man.
Yeah, I've read that, and that challenge wasn't that exciting.
Wasn't that?
No, it wasn't that exciting.
King size special, Tower of Shadows, number 1. 25-cent square bound. Woo-hoo. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I love that guy. The guy in the corner box, he reminds me of, remember the TV show, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn? It was half animated, half live action. He reminds me of Injun Joe. Injun Joe, who was voiced by Ted Cassidy. Was it Ted Cassidy? Yeah, the deep voice.
Oh, he's got that intelligent look too. Yeah.
that's how he looked. I don't think Injun Joe had a hat, but that's what I think of when I see that face. I was like, that's Injun Joe.
He's probably teaching at a university somewhere.
Here we go with Two Gun Kid number 89. And it's got Kid Cult and Rawhide Kid. Now the Two Gun Kid, 108. Don't look too closely.
Oh, yeah. Kane did a bunch of those, and a lot for Kid Colt as well.
And it appears he did some War as Hell, too. A Lousy Day to Die. This one here, I remember having as a kid, and I must have drawn this picture a million times as a kid. Werewolf by Night number 6. Man, I can remember sitting at my friend's table. I went and visited him, and we lived down the street, and we would both just sit there and draw and draw and draw. And I used to love to draw the Werewolf by Night. And this is one I vividly remember. And then we got the Western Kid, 20-cent Bronze Age, number 1.
I don't ever see this. Yeah. The Western Kid is one you don't really see. Well,
No.
at least in my neck of the woods, you don't see.
Yeah. And another Western Kid. This is number 4. 20 center with the picture frame cover. I know Shannon would love this one. Yeah, that's true, Maranya. I've heard good things about that movie too. And I watched the trailer and I was able to stop it and see Man Thing. I don't know how many people noticed that he was in there because he's only in there for like a split section. But man, it's the Man Thing, and it looks just like the Man Thing should look. So, with death, yes, yep, absolutely. And then we got Where Monsters Dwell, number 12. Another square bound 25 center.
Yeah, the trademark looks like he's got glasses. I'm wearing shades or something.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like he's got glasses on. I'm looking at it on here. Yeah. And then, this is more of a modern book. Warbound. It was part of the World War Hulk thing. I don't know how it got in with all those guys, but they all got to be rebagged anyway. You want me to keep showing some more, or you want to show some?
You go ahead if you want. It reminds me, I've got some SilverAge My Lights or whatever they're called coming. I can't wait because I got a bunch to bag as well.
Yeah. Here we go with another 25-cent square bound Mighty Marvel Western, number 14. I love these from the early ones that were 25 centers and square bound. Classic stuff. It is The Blonde Bombshell, Millie the Model, number 130.
The truth about Agnes.
That's right.
Boy.
About to get silly with Millie. Modeling with Millie, number 41. That could be. You're probably correct. And then Modeling with Millie, number 49.
Crazy.
Monsters on the Prowl, 25 cents. Number 14, rather.
It's the Hulk. No, it's Zemu. No, it's Titan. No, it's
Zemnu, however you say it.
Yeah.
Zemnu. And then we got a little subby action because Prince Namor is going to be appearing, or somebody they call as Prince Namor is going to be appearing in, the next Black Panther movie. Number 24 with Subby and Tiger Shark. And to round this one out, we got another Rawhide Kid, number 91. Does not look like it's going to go well.
General Custer. That didn't last long. Because they dropped him after the Civil War. They dropped him right back down to Colonel. Unless that's a different Custer. I don't know.
I do not know. So, all right. You got anything over there?
Hey, Gratu. I kind of shown everything I was going to show. I will show this Ripley's Believe It or Not. And see if you can't see. I haven't read the story, but I am guessing that this lady is handicapped. because of the crutch.
Yeah, that's what it would appear to me.
But these are authentic. They are true ghost stories, folks. So
Yeah, none of that made up malarkey.
these have been verified by fact checkers at New York Times. Because they're not fact checking anything else, that's for sure. Here's something goofy. It's from the Copper Age. All these people are going to float off into space because of this Cookie Monster dude. And you have to take it seriously. So, great model on the back. If you're my dad was a truck driver, so I do notice things like that. Before things got a little crazy in our modern era, they had Superman go through some weird stages, and I just the guy on the on your right is
Wonder Man.
yeah.
Wonder Man.
It's very impressive. Very impressive. The great Spalding ad with Dr. J and Barry. But those ads meant a lot to me when I was a kid growing up. So,
you know what I used to love was the house ads.
Oh, especially in the 70s.
The 60s and 70s. I just love the house ads, you know. Because it would always be like, oh man, I got to go get that book. That looks so cool, you know. And of course, back then it didn't have the resources to get those books. Didn't have places, you know. I didn't have a license or anything like that because I was just a kid. So, oh yeah, there you go, there you go. Jonah Hex and Scalp Hunter.
Well, come on. Maybe from right here on, I guess it's fine. Yeah. But Lincoln showing up in a Scalp Hunter was always cool.
Mm.
And another one. I'm going to take it out of the bag. The artist is, well, I can't quite make it out, but it's very, very 80s computer. I'm sure the chat will know it instantly.
Jansen? No. I can't. There you go.
To me, it says chess. No, yeah, Jansen, 85. He put 85 on there. I thought it was an SA.
Okay. Cloth Jansen.
And then, unfortunately, in the 80s, some of the ads got a little ridiculous. And so there's or they look like this.
I enjoyed that gum, though.
And yeah, the gum's fine. But I mean, what happened to the quality ads? Or like Champion spark plugs, those are ads. So
I gotta admit, I didn't pay much attention to the ads, unless they were like the Hostess Twinkie ads or whatever with the they have the Hulk in them or something like that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about the blur.
It doesn't want to cooperate with you today.
No.
Oh, there you go. When you're real up close, it works.
Well, I knew the white would be okay. And once again, we're back to okay.
Is that a 50-cent cover? What is that? 30? Okay.
Yeah. And you see it was out of a quarter box. That's why the crease. But
who is this? Terror Man? Bum, bum, bum.
And if you're ready for a microwave man,
there you go. He looks way too happy as he's getting punched. I guess maybe it's not reaching him. Microwave man. That's a 50 center. Jeez, I remember when those were coming out. I remember I was going every Friday. I would be going to the movie theater over the next town over. The tickets were like $1, and you get to see a movie. And then I would walk out of the theater, go up around the corner, and buy a couple of comic books. And then my folks would pick me up, take me back home. Man. Old toys from the 60s and 70s.
when we have Meyer Greenblatt on, you'll see a lot of that.
I don't have many monster toys, but I got some other toys. You guys
Get caught up here. Gratu, we have a link in the chat.
Gratu.
Namor looks pretty awesome. Yeah.
It's Wonder Warrior.
No.
House had some monster books. Great. Yes, they would. Yeah, absolutely, Michael. They would make great posters. Absolutely.
You betcha. Let me put the link. Oh, here's Gratu. Hey, sir.
Hey.
Hello.
I'll show it again for you, Gratu. I had you in mind really when Hello. I'll show it again for you, Gratu. I had you in mind really when it's 1954.
That might be my fault.
Oh, you have a YouTube on? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
It was just the ads were just fantastic.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
And the clip art. So there's a bicycle ad.
Yeah.
Anyway, for 35 cents back in 54.
Well, that was a lot of money, though, then.
Yes, it was. No, Christopher, it's my camera. Sorry.
I'm right there with you, Christopher.
Tomorrow night, I'm going to move this to another room, and hopefully my background and the camera will behave a little better. So,
look at this ad. This is Carcraft magazine. I just opened it up.
oh, fantastic! Yeah,
look at this ad here with the
chimpanzee or monkey or
what is that, man? Yeah, I guess so. And then this one for car club jackets with Lady Luck. Yeah, this is a Tiny Digest magazine. Just the look of the old ads is it's like ads kind of went bad in the 70s. The design of the production design, the look of the ads.
And a full-blown ad full blown bad by 1985. I agree.
Oh yeah, everything was bad by then.
So anyway, folks, there's a little link in the description. We started this a little while ago, and YouTube promptly shut us down. We were showing copyrighted wrestling.
What?
Yep.
What? A magazine shut you down?
No, we were showing video, and we were going to do a reaction to it. So.
You were talking about that a while back, that you were going to do like a Mystery Science Theater kind of. Mm-hmm. You were going to MC the wrestling.
Yes.
Was it wrestling from what, the 80s, 70s?
1987. Yep.
Yeah, you might have to go back to the 50s and do like Gorgeous George and the Crusher or something.
Oh, I would love that.
Did you see that wrestling magazine I showed the other day?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad Rod saw it. He might recognize half those names.
Well, that's going way back. That was early 50s in Dallas. Were some of those people famous?
Some of them.
That Sportatorium, they would have the Big D Jamboree, and they'd have rockabilly shows with Gene Vincent. I think Elvis might have performed there. The Sportatorium's still there. I actually saw a wrestling show there. A friend of mine took me to one. It's right next to the Longhorn Ballroom, which is where the Sex Pistols performed. It was like almost a joke. They had the Sex Pistols perform in this country western honky tonk. And almost just to get a reaction.
The Sportatorium was pretty hot place to be there, with the Von Erichs and stuff in the early 80s through the
right, yeah, but it was they had wrestling probably going back to the 40s, if not before there.
That poor Von Erich family, boy, I tell you,
that was like a curse or something.
Yeah,
really. Yeah. Holy mackerel! One left.
So how long did you go with the wrestling before they shut you down?
About 12 minutes. So
how long have you been going with this stream?
1 hour 12. I don't know I don't know how long YouTube will think we're on. I don't know how long there'll be this black gap in the middle of it. But
I know. Okay, it didn't destroy your stream. It just says black. Okay, that happened to me sometimes too.
That happened to Night Tiger a long time ago when he was showing rock videos and stuff. I think it was AC/DC.
Yeah, I remember.
Anyway, yeah. Oh, well. We were struggling on, but I haven't seen Rod in a while, and I called him up and said, "Hey, let's talk where the whole world can see us." And so,
we just shoot the breeze.
Yes, Meyer's got fantastic toys. I have one or two, but no.
Yeah, it's hard to do it on a live stream because, Meyer can just show a smaller toy, but the big toys, I can't do it. I'd have to take you to another room for them. I still have all these army men here from when I was talking to Meyer the other day, like these little miniature army men. This guy's just a Japanese guy that's just been shot. This is tiny.
It's like he's shot from behind too.
Wouldn't he be shot from the? Well, I don't know. What do you think? He's kind of going backwards.
Back and to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what have you guys been showing?
Oh, just random comics all over the place. I do have
I showed
old Batman.
And then I showed.
Oh, that's cool. That's from a parachute, huh?
Yeah. I showed Adam West signed my album.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that looks like that's an original pressing, not a reprint.
That's what we thought.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's cool. Just to have his signature would be cool. You know, Adam.
Yeah, spinner. Yes.
Drum up viewers.
All right, so now we're going to show last year's Super Bowl. Here we go.
Oh. But
or something Disney. Talk about getting in trouble. No, I mean copyrights. Talk about getting in trouble. They have more lawyers than they know what to do with.
How about the Metal Man?
Why, yes. We will always say yes to Metal Men.
That showcase, what is it? Number 37? 37. And then 38. No, this is 39. And 40. And what is this one here? 38. There's 38. Well, and when I was posting pictures on Facebook a lot, I used to do a thing where I do once a week. I do a funny book and a funny book and a figure, I think it was called. And so I have like gold from the Metal Men.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know they made those.
I think they've made one for all of them. I only have 3 of them. This is Mercury.
Oh, wow.
And he's got like his hands making a giant pair of scissors.
Yeah.
And then the last one I got is iron. Iron.
When were these made?
Oh, these were probably made early 2000s, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember how long I've had them. But they have special ones for like tin and lead and platinum. They were like too expensive. They weren't like these ones here in like a bubble plastic thing or whatever. It was like a special deluxe thing or something. So I couldn't afford those. But these ones I like. These were pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with the guitar playing, his fingertips were cut and he had metal added to them. Or I'm saying it wrong, but yes,
he had metal inserted in his fingers?
Well, if I remember correctly, I always pronounce the guy's name wrong, but the guy that played for Black Sabbath, he was working at his real job and something happened to his hand. And so they had to kind of fill in the gaps with little tips. And so that kind of helped get a special sound when he pressed down on the strings. Yeah. I'm always fascinated when the guy can get an injury like that and just go on about, his business. All right. You'll remember the name, Rod. Ronnie Lott, San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
He had something wrong with his finger, and they just went ahead and took that part off, and he played later in that game that afternoon.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
I just, I'd be home crying and putting it up on something, with ice on it. And yeah.
How about Jamal?
Yeah. Chuck, that's great, but I just can't pronounce it. It's Iomi or
like what are these? Auburn rubber? Something like that. Cars.
Yeah, they made a lot of Army vehicles too.
Yeah. I remember having these as a kid. The pickup truck one. It's a pickup truck, I think. But this is the one I remember the most. This was my substitute Batmobile when I was a kid. It's just a hot rod. But we'd take them out in the sand pile and make roads and whatnot. And so, and I think I showed this before on the fossil shows.
Yes, you did.
Red Flintstone, it's a coin purse. That was some kind of a Pebble cereal premium giveaway. 1975, was it? I can't read it. Yeah, 75. You know, my folks found it because we used to play. We had woods and everything, so we'd play with our toys and stuff all through the woods and all that stuff. So they're always constantly finding stuff out in the woods. There's a tree, an actual tree, and in the tree, it's now part of the tree because it grew up around it. An old Western plastic 6-gun holster. It's still there. I should get a picture of that and put it on.
Rod, you were asked a question here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have the Marvel Legends Monster 4-pack? No, I do not. That would be cool. Oh, Simon Garth? Yeah, that would be really cool. Werewolf by Night? Absolutely. No, I didn't even know they made one. Oh, great. Now I got to go hunt that down. More money out the window.
Were you guys talking about Werewolf by Night earlier, I gather?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it because there's just a little clip in there of Man-Thing in the trailer.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah, I saw.
It looks awesome. It looks like Man-Thing. You know, it looks really cool.
Well, I don't want to get too encouraged with Disney.
That's probably safe and good that you don't get too. You never can tell.
Brian Gagne, yeah. Dick the Bruiser, the Crusher. Absolutely.
There's a great song called The Crusher.
Thanks for that, Michael, because I'm going to go look around, see if I can find one.
Hello, Joker.
Hey, how you doing, Joker? Hello.
I think we started our stream way too early, Rod. Now's we should have started, yeah. Well, we promise you, folks, tomorrow night will be much more entertaining.
Yeah. What else you got? Want to show some more books or something?
Well, I have a good stack here, but that's all ready for tomorrow. So,
Marvel's Greatest Comics number 26.
Yep, that's the first appearance of the World Economic Forum right there, Gideon.
Number 58.
If they read the story, they know what I'm talking about.
Marvel Spotlight number 6. One away from the money book. Ghost Rider. Is number 7. Marvel Spotlight number 7. And Marvel Spotlight number 11.
Yeah, Lead Paint, we caught ourselves by surprise, too. We didn't. We're just winging it.
Yeah. 128 Marvel Team Up. Photo cover.
Yes, somewhere I have that. I've often wondered, who are those two guys?
Spider-Man and Captain America.
Well, yeah.
And Marvel Triple Action number 8. I love this cover. Redrawn.
I was wondering, being in New York, did they have to get two guys that were for the union, or could you just grab anybody? Did they have to,
I don't know.
Publisher?
I do not know. Things that make you go,
Yep.
Oh. I think I've run out of books. All I got left is all the my sketch pads.
I think Michael needs to get a camera and join us some Wednesday night. because
Yeah, absolutely.
he's got all these books right off the rack.
The more, the merrier. Well, there's a couple more, I guess. Captain America 124. Just a bunch of random stuff I have in a box there, I guess. Conan King Size Annual number 3 with King Cole.
That's a great cover.
Another 25-cent square bound Fear number 4. I turned into a Martian. And Ghost Rider. Well, here's some more Ghost Rider. This is actually from his actual series, number 5. Bronze Age, baby. Number 7. I love this one. I love that cover with the Stunt Master. That's pretty cool. And some Bronze Age Western action with the Gunhawks, number 1. Again, the picture frame covers. And here's number 6 of the Gunhawks.
I'm glad it went 6 issues or more, but
yeah, I think it wound up going 7. It's either 7.
No one talks about that or even shows it. It didn't catch on. It didn't catch on.
Probably just me and Shannon get them.
Yeah, I don't own any. I know of it. I've got scans of them, but
and you can pick them up relatively cheap compared to all the other stuff. You know.
Good.
This has a complete wrestling section in it. It says, I think I showed this last week. Here's a guy from Iowa. His name is Bob Geigel.
Oh, yeah. Bob Geigel went on to become the president of the NWA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, Bob Geigel. He was a big player in the wrestling game in the South.
You know Jack Root from Austria?
That I don't recognize that name, no.
Let's see what year this is from.
What are you doing now? I'll slip in an answer for Lead Paint. Lead Paint, I was contacted by a guy that said, hey, I'd love to come on your show. I think he teaches English over in Japan. And I said, yeah, sure. Here's my email. Let me know. I've seen one of his videos. He shows a British Digest comic. And I think it's called Command. It was like issue number 1,000 and something.
Wow.
And I don't think anyone over here in America knows much about this. You're the only, Lead Paint's the only guy I know that's even mentioned it to me. I had no idea until I saw this guy from Japan showing it. So he's getting a foreign market. Paulo probably knows a little bit about this. But yeah, I'd love to see more Lead Paint. I just don't know of any. Yeah. Go ahead, Gratu. I'll put you full screen.
Okay. Here's So you think wrestling is a fake, eh?
Oh, somebody's leaking. Somebody's leaking.
Was that Dick Slater?
1961, by the way.
It looked like Dory Funk right there in the front.
Huh.
Oh, well, I don't know. Let's see. Johnny, left to right. Johnny Rago, Killer Kowalski, Andre.
Killer Kowalski. Walter.
Andre Bollet, Ed Carpentier, and on 4, Don Leo Jonathan, all battling it out during bloody bout in Montreal.
Yeah, some big names in there. Edward Carpentier.
This is I guess this is a list of favorites.
Oh yeah. Buddy Rogers, who was champion, he was the one Bruno beat for the belt. And Antonino Rocca, Whipper Watson, yeah. Oh yeah, those are all big names. Cowboy Bob Ellis,
Valentine,
yeah.
And yet this is a boxing mag.
The Kangaroos.
It's it says Boxing Illustrated and Wrestling News.
It's a hybrid almost. Wow.
Yeah.
There's
That's
Fred
cool.
Atkins, the He-Man from Down Under. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. And they have female wrestling.
Beautiful, bewildering.
It was a low punch.
Let's see. But then they have it has the wrestling section, but they have a separate magazine with
Wrestling Review. Yeah. That was around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wrestling Review. I think I even have a few of those.
So that was cool. That the publisher there know how to cross promote.
Yeah. Let's see. This one is from
Johansson.
These all probably came from the same collection because I got them at Half Price Books, I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure they made one buy. This is Torbellino Blanco.
No, he looks like the Destroyer.
Yes, Joker. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night. We'll be much more polished than we are now here.
Well, speak for yourself.
Did Kevin Sullivan really stab Blackjack Mulligan in the chest with that golden spike? I don't believe so. I don't think so. I think he just bladed.
You think that was a work, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Freddie Blassie.
Oh yeah, classy Freddie Blassie. Absolutely.
He's got a great record, Pencil Neck.
Yes. Oh, I used to have a copy of that. Oh, blood red. It was blood red vinyl.
The one about the Crusher is by a band called the Novas. Here's Nature Boy Buddy Rogers.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
The original Nature Boy.
Yeah, if you look close on the Dick Van Dyke Show,
yes,
Freddie Blassie makes an appearance on the end of one of those. So.
I think I was joking about that last episode or somewhere. Long live the new king.
Rogers.
Wouldn't he be better than
Charles?
Yeah.
Buddy Rogers.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Classic stuff.
Were you guys talking about the Submariner earlier? I saw something in the chat.
Yeah, Rod was.
This guy would be a better Submariner.
Oh my goodness, he probably would. Yeah, that haircut's perfect.
But
You know
it's
what's
just-
funny? Talking about wrestling and Namor, the perfect guy I thought for Submariner is a guy by the name of Randy Orton. He physically, his face, and of course he's got the body to go with it, but his face would be looks exactly like
He
Namor
really
right
would. Now that you say that, but his tattoos totally they'd have to figure out how to cover that up.
They'd have to CGI him out.
Yeah.
But his face, there was a while where he had a flat top haircut. He looked exactly like Namor.
Yep.
Well,
Right.
they've decided, supposedly their idea, which is what I assumed, is that they figured Aquaman already had done Atlantis, but
yeah,
I don't think that's the reason.
Now the name of his place is supposed to be Tuscan or Tuscan or Tossacan or something like that.
I don't know. It's a
Something I
character
never
that
heard
has
of
roots
before.
that go back to the late 30s, and they shouldn't be doing that to it. But I mean, I think he has gauges in his ears, and he's got a thing through his nose. He doesn't have the widow's peak. He's got the green shorts and the wings on his feet and pointy ears, but he's got a little beard. I don't know. And then people are complaining he's not muscular enough, and he really isn't as muscular as a lot of the other characters. Of course, a lot of them have padded suits, and I just don't even care anymore. But I care enough that it's kind of like a slap in the face, but I get over it pretty quickly. But I don't really have an interest in seeing a Black Panther movie where the Black Panther's dead. It's like, oh, well, let's watch the Black Panther's funeral. That's like watching the Queen's funeral. What? It's like, okay, watch this. It's supposed to be the longest Marvel movie ever. That's what I heard today.
The Black Panther one? It's
The
supposed to
new
be
Black
the one?
Panther movie. It's, I guess the Submariner appears and Black Panther's little sister has to become the Black Panther. It's like,
Yeah, that's why I heard the sister was going to become.
When I saw the other Black Panther movie, and it's like they're giving all the credit to her, it really soured me on the movie. I couldn't wait till it was over. And so now it's like, dare I say it, by him passing away, now they don't have to escort him, off stage left. They can just, here she is, folks.
well, what did they have her designing his armor or something? I can't recall.
And she designed all their little flying craft and all that. And,
Yeah,
and she's 13. And so you think, how long were those drawings that she made in production and putting together? And
and then
so she must have been this genius 8-year-old or something.
And Bruce Banner says something, and she says, "Well,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah." And he says, "Well, I didn't think of that because I'm not smart." Of course, Bruce Banner's portrayed as a very stupid person
Exactly.
in his movies.
So
But
I have no desire to.
oh well, I gotta find this little knight I dropped on the floor before the dog chews it up.
Yeah.
There we go.
Keep the comics separate.
If you can, Michael, that works. But sometimes I just know too much that it won't. I can't keep it separate.
You know too much. What now?
Like Michael is telling me, just keep it separate, and you'll be able to appreciate the movies better. Well, yeah, to a point, but then the Marvel started off really great. They told me, Micah, you got to go see X-Men, and I thought, why? They're just going to ruin it.
Which one?
The first one,
Okay, all right.
So, but then when you see Wolverine on the Statue of Liberty, and you think, they did a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
Cyclops looked good, and all that looked good. Not too bad. I'll give him a pass. That was great. And then the Iron Man came out. That was good. So
we got to go through every movie and talk. Of course, we may not have all seen them all, but yeah, Iron Man was great. The first X-Men was great. The second X-Men was really good too. It was the third one where it really started to get bad.
Unfortunately, they could not do a Fantastic Four to save their life because they don't know how to do Doctor Doom. And if they'd have done Doctor Doom right, that could have salvaged that train wreck.
Yeah.
But that is not how you do Doctor Doom. It's just, and so it's hard to separate it. Michael's trying to help me out here, but I can't, Michael.
Well, I'm not looking at the comments. Let's see. I keep the comics separate from them. Yeah, but now they're in.
Now they're hurting the movies that they've already done really good 10 years ago.
I mean, I could keep them separate when they didn't do the costumes accurately or even at all, but the personalities were still, like with the first X-Men movie, I cut them a lot of slack. And then, but now it's getting to the point where we're just being insulted by, every bit of it, And,
Horror Mike, I haven't seen the Corman film. I've seen clips of it.
Well, it was very slow. I mean, it did have some moments where they looked better than the other two. Or has it been? There were two, and then there was another one that was, I didn't even see it, where the thing didn't even wear pants. But let's see.
I'm leaving that up so Mike can see the message. I try to help the chat communicate with each other.
Oh, okay. I'm not even looking at the chat.
Yeah.
I don't know the The Fantastic Four was such a great comic. I mean, it was really the best thing that Marvel did in the 60s. So for it to have been done so poorly, it was really a tragedy. And normal people think that Marvel all started with Iron Man, and Iron Man was and Submariner were very not deservedly, but they were kind of B-list characters. They weren't really they're not characters the average person in a mall knew who they were until these movies. And still, people don't know who Submariner is. He just, I mean, we do.
Oh yeah.
But it seemed like Submariner was wearing the green shorts out of the comic. That was the only thing that. But then he had all these feathers and Mayan Aztec stuff on. But
yes, Mastodon, we are a day early, but don't worry, we will be back tomorrow night, of course. So we are just having a little Tuesday night fun. I'm Comedy Gold. What did I say? Oh, he'll have to help me out there. I don't remember saying anything.
Comedy Gold. Oh, he's talking probably about the Corman Fantastic Four movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Comedy Gold. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, the hand coming out of the sunroof. Yes, I saw that clip. And that one looked a little, it's best just, they should have cut that, but they had to show you that he could stretch. But we have a link in the chat. You want me to send it to you Twitter, Eric? Just let me know.
He probably needs it through Twitter.
Mastodon, you're on live. Well, sorry about that, buddy. Well, Mastodon, you should send me a link and let me know. I wouldn't know. People more of a natural or native type look, it appears. Well,
I stuck with the Marvel movies a lot longer than anyone else did. I kept, I wanted to believe in Santa Claus a lot longer than the average kid. It's like if I stopped believing in Santa Claus, I knew that Santa Claus didn't exist. I mean, I knew that, but it's like I can't think that thought. I can't think it because Santa will know what I'm thinking, and then I won't get presents. And so I had to will myself to keep believing in him, even though I'd turn over the smash up derby, say made in China or Taiwan or Hong Kong, whatever it was in the 70s. And it's like, wait, why did Santa Claus write, the elves write made in Hong Kong on this? It's like, why did they do that? So I kind of figured out that Santa Claus didn't exist, but
the elves were in on the conspiracy crowd too.
And okay, so I was there with them through the Avengers movie with Thanos, and then the Captain Marvel movie was really bad, and then the next Avengers movie, well, I was there with that, but then it's like Thor is fat. Oh, okay. And then this whole bit about half the population's gone, then come back 5 years later, and then they keep that going in every movie, and it's really a pretty traumatic, a horrible thing that happened to the world that was. And it's like in comic books, they didn't really ever have things that just the impact of them lasted on and on. And it's like, okay, that crisis or disaster happened. Let's move on. And I don't want to keep. It reminded me after Gwen Stacy died for 100 issues. It's just like Spider-Man. Oh, I could have saved her. It's like, oh, come on. I want the fun of when Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane were still alive, and it was like an Archie comic, and they have to have all this depressing shit go on for 10 years, and it's just constant, and they're taking the fun out of the Spider-Man comic. Or the Star Trek, the second Star Trek movie was great, but they have to keep using this Genesis planet, not just to bring Spock back, but then they used it in the next movie because they like the CGI of the fire creating some new world or whatever, that early CGI. They just kept using it for like, how many movies did they use that plot of New Genesis or whatever it was? It's like, have self-control. I like the self-contained plots of the original Star Trek. I didn't like the impact of things to keep going on and affecting other movies. That's just me. Like James Bond, we're all self-contained, except for when James Bond's wife gets killed at the end, and then you see twice, he's like putting flowers on her grave for like 5 seconds, and it's never mentioned again. She is machine gunned as soon as they get married. I'd rather just have self-contained things. But anyway. Hey, Eric.
Hey,
Hey,
Eric. Okay, I wasn't sure if that wasn't just like a cut out of you. That I hadn't heard you say anything.
Oh, he's very
I won't shut up is why.
No.
I don't know how to DM England team. You said DM him. I don't know how to DM.
Do you know how to get on? You know how to, you've been on Twitter, right? You can get on there.
Not anymore. I don't remember my password, so I can't get on. I don't want to be on Twitter. But is there? I don't want to. I was trying to talk to him through the talkback in some of his videos, thinking maybe he'd see that. But
So did he stream Saturday with an auction?
I don't think so. I think he was doing the best and worst Marvel movies, kind of, or something. Did he do an auction?
I don't think so.
Ah, so you're free Saturdays, Eric. I hear.
Well, I had the Cincinnati show this.
Oh, how did that go?
Ran into Jamie. It was good.
Did you get anything for your personal collection?
I filled a little bit more in a short box.
Well, that's a lot.
Oh yeah,
it's a little on the low side for me.
For a convention.
Yeah.
Were they like dollar books, or did you really splurge?
No, there were some dollar books. I did get a couple that were, the most I spent on a single book was $60, because I don't buy major keys and stuff like that anymore. So it's, but you guys will see. You'll start seeing them tomorrow.
All right. Okay, well, let's ask Eric this question. Where does his store put the amalgam comic, alphabetically?
A.
I put
all together in A for amalgam.
I do that all together in A and in my own collection, and then all these Hanna-Barbera books that DC did, they're insane Hanna-Barbera run. I put them all under H.
Yeah. Now you say DC. I mean, I know Marvel did a bunch in the 70s.
Oh, those were like normal adaptations, a little bit better than Charlton did with better art. I'm talking about when DC went bug nuts crazy back, I think, in the New 52 era or whatever, where Wacky Races was the Road Warrior, and
they did stuff with a couple other companies too, because I remember there was a Green Lantern Space Ghost team up.
Yeah, they had Superman and Top Cat teaming up.
Black Lightning and Hong Kong Phooey, which was, I thought, tell you what, the best of the bunch, and the guy that wrote it is god awful, but Tom King wrote a Batman Elmer Fudd where Silver St. Cloud was involved with Elmer Fudd, and Elmer, I think, was trying to kill Bruce Wayne out of jealousy or something like that, and it was just because it was one of those that doesn't count for anything, and it was funny, and they had characters that were drawn to look like if Bugs Bunny were human, what he would look like, and they really pulled it off well. I mean, it was a funny as hell book.
So did those books just not sell, or what was the deal with all that?
Well, they're DC for one, and DC doesn't sell, period.
That's true, yeah.
And honestly, if you think about it, those books were, some of those characters you have to be our age to remember. I mean, I said, who remembers? What was it? God, Aquaman was with, Jabbity Jaw, Jibbity, whatever the hell is it?
Jabba.
Yeah.
I
don't even remember.
Yeah, it was not a good cartoon.
But kids today aren't going to remember those characters. Hell, they barely remember Bugs Bunny.
There was an amalgam comic that I haven't read yet, but it looks interesting with Wonder Woman, and I think she's involved with Shield or Bruce. Was that what it was?
It was Bruce Wayne, Agent of Shield.
Yeah, there was that one, but what was the Wonder Woman? It was mixed up with what Marvel character?
Storm, I think.
Was it? Shoot, I don't know, but it looked interesting. Yeah, there's all kind of, I've stopped all Hulk comics go under H regardless of whether they're Incredible. I don't put Incredible Hulk under I. And I've started in this last time I've gone through comics, putting all Spider-Man comics under SP for Spider-Man. Even Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, I just put that after Amazing Spider-Man. And what I have of all the other a million Richie Rich style Spider-Man comics, I just put after that kind of in order. It's just too much. I don't want.
I've shown you guys before, so I will put everything in category. The only one I have currently to show in the little thing I have to show here was the Spider-Man section, but
yeah,
a lot of my Hanna-Barbera goes on one box, and it's the Flintstones box. And so I've got a cover of the Flintstones on there from Gold Key. But I kind of group by category. So like Unexpected, DC's Unexpected, they get their own box. World's Finest, they get their own box. But
I started doing that kind of stuff, sort of. So what I've got is over here is all the Silver Age, and it's Marvel and DC mixed together. But then I decided to pull DC War Comics out and have a separate war. And then I decided, well, I'll mix Silver Age and Bronze Age all together in the War Comics boxes. And then I decided I'll pull out Bronze Age Fantastic Four and put them in a separate box. And I pulled out Warlord for a separate box and Micronauts. Just something I thought, would fill a box, and then I have more room in these boxes. And then I've got this is Bronze Age and up behind me, and it's like 36 boxes. And over here I've got ACG and EC comics. I've got Archie separated. I've got Charlton separated. Harvey separated. I got Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes separated. That's the Bronze Age. But the Silver Age is mixed in with the Silver Age. I don't know. I just and then I started pulling out Bronze Age horror from Marvel. But I haven't pulled out horror from DC, which probably would be a smart thing to do, like you're talking about. I'm not sure if I have enough Unexpected to fill a box, though. I wish I did.
I have to make a decision eventually. I've just gone running around like Machine Man. Yeah. There's not many of them. Yeah. And then I don't even have all of them. So maybe I've got 10 of these.
What I would do if you're wanting to pull those is mix them with 2001: A Space Odyssey and the Eternals and and anything else Kirby did at Marvel post I'm not going to say post the glory years. That'd be insulting. But, in that era when
it came back,
weren't quite the same.
And then I showed last time little monsters. I don't have tons of these, so currently I'll be putting this in my Flintstones box. They have nothing to do with Hanna-Barbera, but I know it's kind of it's not Funny Animal, but it's
I just mix those with, and see, I have Gold Key also separated, and then I decided, and I think Captain Strangelove does the same thing. I mix the Dell in with the Gold Key, and but I kind of miss the old days when I just had everything alphabetized like the Overstreet Guide, A through Z, regardless of company. But I don't like seeing that 90s stuff mixed with something from the 60s. It's almost sacrilegious, you know.
That's why I got rid of all the 90s.
Well, I don't have that much 90s. I
don't pay attention to us, Rod. Rod, especially if it's Hulk. Rod has to have it.
I don't put as much thought into it as you guys do. I just, I keep all my Hulks together. I keep all my Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Mans together. I keep X-Men's all together, and I just run them from one to whatever. They fill up the box and go to another box.
I have a box and I put Hulk on the cover or from the magazine, the Rampage. So that's my Hulk magazine box, but they didn't go very long. So I put all those Hulk, they're almost the magazine size from England that I have. I got a good run of those. Okay. And then I have a little space left over. I just put in a few extra Conans in there because it's a good sized magazine box, but I don't have a ton of Savage store, but like tomorrow night, I'm going to be showing another Conan Saga. I do have a pretty good run of Saga for some odd reason.
Well, they're fun to read, and they're cheap.
Yeah.
I got one of these show boxes, but I don't even have a single X-Men comic in it. I just have stuff in here that just needs to be filed somewhere else. Like this is something I won from England team, and you know what? I won't. I had to have a box of comics that have Holocaust on the cover before Holocaust meant something different. Inappropriate. This book was sent to me by Gotham City Comics. I didn't know this existed. Do you know this book?
Seen it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, they're really good. And he sent me some Kid Cold Outlaws.
John Carter under J or W for Warlord of Mars. We're getting all the J.
John Carter could, if you took all your John Carter, you could probably fill a short box with the Marvel. If you put the Weird Worlds from DC and the Gold Key in there, if you have all, depends on how much you are into all that, have all that. But I put it under J. Yeah, this is actually a good topic. Yeah, I put John Carter under J. I mean, you just kind of look at is it pronounced indicia? Because I mispronounced it the first time I said the word in my life on YouTube, and I was corrected. The words that tell you all about
that's
indicia is what I do. But go ahead, Eric.
No, say that's good. It is now.
I mean, how many times have I read that word in my head and solidified it in my head? Thinking indica or something. As a kid, I knew what it was called, but I didn't. It's like Harry Truman mispronounced all these words, and because he learned, and they said that's a great thing when someone mispronounces a word, you know that they learned it by reading, not from hearing it. Yeah. So and he lived around a bunch of farmers. They weren't reading Plutarch's Lives, and so he was at the library all the time and just didn't know how to pronounce the words. So people like to make fun of people like that, but anyway, I just go by that.
Michael, I have trouble with that though, because that's why I showed you the picture earlier of my Spider-Man. All the Spider-Mans go in their proper box. You see on the left there, Peter Parker Spectacular. Even when they change the name to Spectacular, I keep them all together. I don't.
If it kept the same number, and I would keep them together.
Yes.
Like that. Yeah,
I don't take this. Okay, put a note here. See Spectacular Spider-Man in the S section to continue on. I don't do that. I realize I'm talking to mostly a superhero crowd here tonight, but Uncle Scrooge, that was bad about that. Part of it is Walt Disney's Uncle Scrooge under W, and the rest of it is Uncle Scrooge under U. And that's the way you're looking at the price guide. You got to stop what you're doing and go find it. I never liked that, so I guess I'm a rebel.
Do you file Shang-Chi under S or M?
Master M.
That's what I file it under.
Yeah.
But if you filed it under master, what in theory, let's say the movie had exploded and people cared about it, and people came to comic stores trying to find Shang-Chi comics, they wouldn't find them because they'd be under M. So, I guess a comic store needs to put them under S.
His name was always the subtitle.
But they're not looking for that because the guy that played him, disavowed the original series. So his fans wouldn't be looking for the original Master of Kung Fu.
So whether the movie does anything, in my world, it's Master.
In my world, it's Shang-Chi, not Shang-Chi, because it's like Shanghai. They tell you twice, they lecture you twice in the movie that's pronounced Shang. They stop the plot to lecture you.
It's Shang-Chi, governor of Kung Fu. We don't use master anymore.
Oh, right. We
don't use owners anymore either. So there's,
but there was at the end of the movie, there was a birthing person that was made the the real master, right? Just like
as it should be, bigot.
Yeah.
Oh,
damn it! I almost spit liquid.
You almost got me.
I'll tell you, man.
Oh,
birthing people, they're pushing it so far. I don't. How much longer can they go on? Every day is some new thing, man. It's almost comical. If it wasn't our lives, it would be almost comical.
Oh, can you imagine being a fifth grader having to write a report?
Or choose what pronouns you're going to be.
Okay, all right. Suppose you're a fifth grader, you're having problems with your homework. Who do you talk to, mom or dad? No, we're not allowed to say that anymore.
No.
Well, you'd never ask your dad because you've seen on every television program and every commercial that adult men, married men, are very stupid.
He's an idiot.
And you know who's really bad about that? Some of those Berenstain Bears cartoons from the 80s. They were real bad about making the dad an idiot. The little boy and girl, they're smart. Now, that little boy, when he grows up, eventually he'll probably turn into dumb dad.
It was a bear and it wasn't a person. And it was funny because the dad was dumb, and we know that dads are smart, and that's where the humor came from. And same thing in the Munsters, although he would, when he had to, he'd sit down with Eddie and he'd be very wise and he'd deliver something to Eddie that sounded like John F. Kennedy wrote it, He was actually, but I watched about 10 minutes of that movie this morning. I need to watch the rest of it so I can do a review. But we didn't have Netflix working this morning. I see what he's doing. It's not a good movie, but the bright colors that everyone's criticizing, I see what he's doing because he is kind of like us, and he's trying to make everything look like a Basil Gogos painting with alternate color, and in every shot it looks like that. And so I understand what he's doing there. I mean, it doesn't look good, but that's what he's trying. And then I see these or hear reviews on YouTube. I heard two people say it's just really he's using all this, and the humor is not funny at all. But they say he's using this modern humor that's really just inappropriate. Like when the Count is reading Playghoul magazine, it's like, no, that was a joke that was in the original show. It's because he was reading Playghoul and had a witch on the cover, and it was maybe edgy for 1965, but yeah, I don't know. When everyone hates something, I kind of want to give it a chance and kind of want to like it, but I haven't gotten too far into it, but. I see what he's trying to do, bring in other monsters from other, bring in Nosferatu and put him in there as a character that's like someone that Lily goes out on a blind date with. But I don't know. I have to give it a chance because I'm a Monsters fanatic. I guess that's comic book related because Monsters was a comic book.
Well, sure.
So, I don't think we have to only talk about.
No, this is pop culture. That's why I was showing popular mechanics. See, pop.
I was thinking of sending this to CGC. It's, I think, with some of that mending tissue that Captain Strangelove talks about, this could be fixed. Well, honestly, maybe it could because it's only the cover. But oh man.
I didn't know we were showing off covers.
Oh, they were earlier.
Hope this doesn't trigger any alarms.
It doesn't work on Tuesdays.
Wait, let me see. I've never seen that cover. What is that supposed to be? Some alternate super? What is that?
I think it's DC Comics Presents Annual number 2.
I saw it was DC Comics Presents. Yeah. I've never seen that design.
Yeah, this was the only time this character was ever used.
That's kind of. I have to admit that's kind of cool. But,
yeah, it wasn't bad. My dumbass didn't realize I already had this. Because I saw the cover and I thought it was I thought I had it in the Gil Kane hardcover. Because the truly greats get hardcovers. But yeah, it turns out he didn't do the interiors.
Well, Eric, as far as that goes, earlier I showed this. Check out the
what the frick? What? That I've never seen this. Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Scams.
It's amazing.
They look like they're wearing underoos.
It kind of looks like an ad for that, doesn't it? Yeah.
The one on the left isn't too bad, but the other two characters, I guess because they're
just weird.
Underoo like.
Just weird.
Man, that's from the 40-cent era, huh? No, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Ross Andrews, I'm drawing what?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Eric, he already showed. Rod showed about 13. He could have tripped it at any time, but
well, this weekend finally caught up with me. I was sawing logs there. I woke up, I saw it, checked my notification, said, "Oh, there's some old men on the air right now."
How many boxes did you have to carry?
That part wasn't bad. The part that, aside from being old, is the walking around the concrete for days and being one of those lepers that still smokes in 2022.
Yeah.
If I had one of those step counters or whatever those are called, I could have racked up an impressive amount just getting to where we were allowed to go out and pollute the atmosphere.
Oh.
But and getting up at 5:30 2 mornings in a row sucked. There's no way to sugarcoat that. No, it's local. It was Cincinnati, so we met at the store and.
Rod and I are laughing because we get up early.
Yeah. Now that's because that's how your life is set up.
Yes.
Now I get up at 8 o'clock every morning. Yeah, because our store's open from 11 to 7. So I'm used to that. So getting up at 2.5 hours earlier than that, it kind of throws you off.
I'm up at 5 a.m. He's already there at 5 a.m.
Yeah, you can get used to anything, but I said when you, I say for 2 mornings in a row, you had to be up at 2:30. It'll mess you up.
Yeah, it's out of your comfort.
Out of normal routine, yeah.
Because since you're only doing it for a couple days, it's hard to discipline yourself to go to bed a couple hours early, especially the first night because you're not used to. Saturday night was no problem because I was beat. So going to bed on the left side of midnight, which I'd never do, was pretty easy. But I thought I was going to have Monday off. and my brother called and reminded me that he and his son were going to Chicago to see a band. So I had to babysit his store. So it's like, which is pretty much the only difference between that and being home. Either way, I didn't see very many people, but I really couldn't justify falling asleep there.
Oh, we're not going to set that off, Mariah. These boys will.
See, because we don't give the people what they want here, Maranya.
No. Yeah, what do they want?
Well, probably four younger, less crabby guys for starters.
Probably.
No, I should say three. Rod's a ray of sunshine over there.
I don't know about that.
You are in this bunch.
Oh,
hell, we should. Now we're all here. We should read something.
Where do you go to get the individual panels that you click through?
I think one of those reading sites, like Marvel, like it's not Marvelology. It's sometimes some kind of subscription service that they pay for, which it gives you access to reading comics online. He just pulls those up and goes panel to panel.
Should read this one.
They don't have access to that, or they probably
don't have access to that.
Oh yeah, imagine I see. Yeah, I can see Venkman going, "Split, you son of a bitch."
Yeah. Yeah, it takes some getting used to hearing him as Reed.
No, or Maranya as the Thing, or myself as Sue.
Nah.
Oh, did I miss a rawhide?
Yeah, about 3 of them. Yeah.
Hey. Damn.
She did good. Did you?
As long as you weren't afflicted with the rawhide virus.
No.
Because that's getting everybody on our readings now.
But to protest what Marvel did, shouldn't we just read them with as an ultimate masculine John Wayne voice, just to stick it to them? I don't want to. I hate that they do that to characters, and then it's like, oh, that's the character. It's like that's all we know about that character. It's like they do that to Iceman, that been around for 50 years.
And that's unfortunate, but it's weird. When I saw that series was coming out, same thing. I was not a Western reader, but I thought this is bullshit. So I didn't touch it when it came out. So when we did that a few months ago, that was the first time I'd actually read the comic. And oddly enough, the story itself wasn't bad. It was actually, the father turned out to be a hero and he won the respect of his son. He got the girl. Rawhide came in and did what he did in the comics. He helped. He won everybody's respect and admiration, and then he rode away at the end. The only difference was he was flamboyantly gay without coming out and saying he was.
Was it John Severin art?
Yeah. And I've got to believe that. I gotta believe he didn't know what he I wonder if he knew what he was doing, because he also did there was a Rawhide miniseries, I think in the late 80s. I think he did the art for that too, or something. Or there was something else that he did, because by 2002 or 3, whenever this came out, he had to be getting fairly long in the tooth.
Yeah.
But I was expecting it to be just completely insulting and god awfully bad, and it really was neither of those, because if you put it up against now, considering they changed the sexuality of half the characters and pat themselves on the back for doing it, This was just a one-off that was meant to be funny because you couldn't dream of doing this miniseries today. Yeah, the fans that they've cultivated would just absolutely combust. This was supposed to be funny. I don't think it hit the mark then with readers, but yeah, I said it wasn't nearly as bad as I expected to be, and actually got some. Yeah, I actually laughed out loud a few times over the material. A lot of times out loud over the way we read it.
Yeah,
but But now there's just too much of that for all the wrong reasons.
right.
Well, the other night we were reading Fantastic Four 17, and Jack Kennedy's in that. And nobody was touching it, so I gave it a Missouri boy shot at the Boston, but it's pretty good dialogue that he wrote.
If only we'd have had somebody from that area reading with us that night.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been gone for 55 years. I don't have any of the accent left.
I've never heard anyone speak that way that didn't have Kennedy in their names. That it's almost like they had an accent specific to their family, almost. I mean, of course, I didn't live up in that region.
Well, there's just certain things. If you're in that area, it's like you have a 25-letter alphabet because I've never heard an R. And I probably didn't have one when I was a little kid. But
thank you.
And that was a good one. I because when I said after your first line, because I wasn't paying attention, I said, thank you, JFK. I didn't realize that's who you were reading because I didn't look to see if that was him in the book.
Oh, you thought I was just goofing?
Yeah.
No.
And I thought, well, and that's you're doing it well.
Well, that was when JFK was treated with respect. So tomorrow there'll be a Marilyn Monroe movie premiering on Netflix where you see the most vulgar, some guy that looks exactly like JFK and some guy that looks exactly like Marilyn Monroe doing very vulgar things we can't talk about.
Yeah, the same people that bitch up a storm whenever a straight person plays a gay or a ableist person plays someone who's not, amazingly have no problem with Ana de Armas playing Marilyn Monroe. The spoiler, she's not from America.
Oh, well, she really does look like Marilyn Monroe.
But they said she's doing it. She's not. She's doing it in. She's going to have a Hispanic dialect because they said she's not going to. She wasn't going to change the way she spoke for the role.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
Because
we'll see what happens.
I heard her talk in the trailer, and it didn't sound bad. Okay.
Maybe they, maybe that was just, appease Twitter speak, and maybe she is. But
well, we'll see what nightmare that is. I mean, it's all part of the Netflix is all big part of the Marxist revolution, and they want to bring down any heroes or royalty that the United States might have, and Marilyn Monroe and John F. Kennedy, John Wayne, they're all ripe for tearing them down.
Well, yeah, you notice that for years, Democrats absolutely held the Kennedys in the highest esteem. You really don't hear that anymore. Because Kennedy would be a Republican today.
Yes, and Robert Kennedy's son is hated by them now, and he's. I mean, he sounds like a Kennedy. He's got a weird trim. I don't know what it is. Someone told me why he has this weird kind of tremble in his voice. But he's. I think he's cool, but they hate his guts. Yeah, you're right. But
off topic.
Yeah.
For the good doctor's sake here, I bought something on eBay not too long ago. Oh. Yeah, for your sake, I'm going to highlight you. But the guy gave me a
Oh yeah.
a sticker, and so I'll give him a free plug. Anthony Snyder.
Yeah.
And I guess there's call him up right now. Tell him he's on graphic.
That is really
I
cool.
think I've got one of those stickers myself. I bought something off him somewhere,
Yeah.
but
I didn't know they had the internet in 1965.
Or .com.
Yeah.
.com addresses. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this.
I must have bought a book somewhere.
Speaking of Severin, Tarzan gives a swinging party. This is
Wow.
I love John Severin so much. And here's the Phantom. Of course, he did a Tarzan parody in the EC Mad, and it was looked exactly like this. So they've got Tarzan mixed with Frankenstein. There's Jackie Gleason as Tarzan.
that's funny.
This is like a 90s issue. Has a parody of G.I. Joe in it. But this is an old, this is a 60s reprint from the Batman TV era. Or is it? No, it can't be, because it's got a Rubik's Cube. This must be, it's just that Severin was still in that mindset of the 60s, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Rubik's Cube did not exist in the 60s. Yeah, I love John Severin. Anyway. So I don't know that. And then here's Marvin of the Apes, which I think in the EC Mad, it was Melvin of the Apes, wasn't it? Because they always use the name Melvin. Yeah, but you don't see a G.I. Joe parody very often. I picked up some. I didn't buy those G.I. Joe comics when they came out, but I bought some out of 50-cent bins, enough that I have a short box of them. But I remember seeing the cartoon in the 80s and thinking, this is better than most cartoons that are on TV right now. But I was just, I was a little too old for that at that point. And I liked the old G.I. Joes that were this big.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Mary Marvel Marching Society sticker, have any of you guys seen the originals? Or own anything original from the MMMS?
No.
No.
I was wondering, because I told you that, said about a year ago, I had a friend of mine. he brought in to the record store his MMMS stuff, because he had all the early Marvel comics, and he was one of the ones whose moms tossed them on him.
Yeah,
but he still had those, and like I said, it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But I wonder if anybody like dealers at really big shows would ever have any of that stuff, because I gotta be, even if it wasn't yours, hell, I was 3 when it came out. So
yeah, I got the Foom set in a Hulk envelope, and I still have that envelope somewhere. And you got several stickers and an issue of Foom, and the poster that I have up over here.
Yeah, I started late, so I missed Foom also.
Yeah, I have my first Foom over here.
Most of that Marvel Mania memorabilia stuff, man, goes for big money now, because I've looked at purchasing some of that stuff off eBay and stuff, and it's big money.
That was the in-between thing about 1970, right? There was Mary Marvel Marching Society, and there was
all that stuff. Yeah, anything before that, and the Marvel Marching Society was mid 60s.
Yeah,
this is what
78 posters.
Yeah.
This is what came with my original envelope. That's why it doesn't have a mailing deal on the back, because but they crossed that out, I guess, in case it came out of the envelope. I don't know, but all then your subsequent issues in your subscription would have your address label on it. So it's like this. Put a Tigra in your tank.
Well, she's changed a little.
Yeah, they have her more like little slits, almost Gil Kane like.
No one under 30 would understand the reference there. Exxon gas.
Right. Here's they'd always have a little parody kind of in the not brand X style. 2-page spread of I don't know, Scarlet Witch and Vision getting married. So maybe this would have been big with all those speculating idiots a couple years ago. I always thought this was cool. This guy painted his bedroom. Look at this guy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He had a slanted ceiling. And he painted this big green goblin.
Did a good job, too.
Yeah, his name is... Okay. Sari Bittix. Worcester, Massachusetts. Imagine you buy a house and it's got that painted on. Some people would just paint over it. That looks terrible. I started reading Marvel some years ago in college and have been a steady fan. No, it's not the guy. No, wait. I need my magnifying glass. Siri is probably a girl's name. God damn it. Oh, wait, this is some guy in Canada. Okay, dear Stan and Company, in the past, Marvel Comics has sponsored a superhero contest, a limericks contest, and a stamp collecting contest. My brothers and I have enclosed 3 snapshots as our entry into your 1 snapshot contest, 2, the largest goblin poster contest, 3, the most posters contest, 4, the best foam room contest, 5, the making up contest. The methods we use to make the posters are very similar to the Skillogram in the 3rd issue of Foam. His name is Patrick Robinson in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada.
Thunder Bay.
The guy that you see in that picture. And they have the latest issues coming out that month. Giant sized man thing, master of kung fu. Big preview of Man God. Yeah, that's the cover that was on the front of all the binders.
Trapper,
keeper, whatever.
Or I still have mine.
Oh, really?
I didn't take it to school. I wasn't stupid.
Well. Look at the nose on Iron Man there.
Oh, yeah.
Drink it in, Maranya.
She did.
And the Hulk is kind of a weird nose, too.
Yeah.
They have an interview with Jarvis. It looks like they made it look like a Playboy interview. So they always have a little picture of the boss.
If they ever made a movie and had a human Jarvis, I'm thinking Paul Heyman.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He's like a manager type for a wrestler.
Oh, okay.
He actually created ECW, which was a real big deal about 30 years ago.
Is wrestling fun to watch currently?
It's getting better now.
Yeah, it's because the old man Vince McMahon, he's gone.
Yeah,
and so the WWE is getting better. Unfortunately, AEW is starting to get some cracks in the armor.
Yes,
because CM Punk apparently just got way too full of himself and really
He went off.
Yeah, he caused some crap that also took down some of their people that have been there from day one. So there's a bunch of guys on suspension, and he's probably just going to get fired when he gets over his injury. But yeah, it's not bad, and real serious wrestling fans just go crazy for the stuff in Japan.
Oh yeah. Well, where do you see wrestling? I don't have cable. I guess it's not available on YouTube or.
WWE is on USA on Mondays and Fox on Fridays, and AEW is on TBS.
Okay.
If you on Wednesday tomorrow night, Gratu, if you see Eric, pay attention to him. Every now and then he'll turn to the side. He's checking out a body slam or something of that nature.
As opposed to actually, I'll probably be looking over to see if Judge ever gets around to hitting number 61.
I was watching a football game, and they interrupted that game twice to show two of his at bats, and he didn't do anything except strike out. And then that game went into overtime. I thought they better not interrupt this thing a third time for that, and they didn't. To their credit, I think they said, well, twice is enough.
My son was there at the game for Judge's 60th. He went. Nice. Yeah, he went with a couple of his college buddies because he's a big Pirates fan. So they got tickets and went out to New York to see the game, and they were there for that game.
Yeah, no one's watching the Pirates tonight because they're like the Reds are in town. Well, nothing like two teams chasing 100 losses in the last week of the season to generate national interest.
Yeah,
okay. Eric, how long will the Atlanta Braves keep that name?
I think
because I think as soon as they go, the Chiefs in the NFL will be next. Because
there's a part of me that thinks that we've seen the end of this because
I agree, Michael.
The Indians' attendance is way down because I think even up there they're tired of it.
Yeah.
And just like it was hard to get people to come back after the steroid scandal or the strikes and all that stuff. People, because what they don't realize is not everybody thinks like Twitter. And there's only so much you can vote with your wallet or with your eyeballs. And so, and Cleveland was picked to be basically, they were picked to like win, 70 something games. Well, they just won the division. So they should be packing that place. They're young, exciting. They're a fun team to watch. But, political correctness. And some fans just said, we've had enough. Now, I think if the pendulum starts swinging in the other direction a little bit, I think you're going to see some of these teams keep their names. Because Florida State, they came after Florida State, and Florida State, the Seminole tribe said no.
Yes, that's because Florida State was smart. Years ago, they had an agreement with them. Do you guys mind if we do this? And they said, no, please do it. And they even had the guy with the flaming spear go out there in the middle of the field. The Seminole tribe, they love the representation. So but anybody speaking on their behalf is not really speaking on their behalf. So,
but the problem is, it's not whether or not the Seminole tribe approves, it's do white progressives.
Sadly, yeah.
And that's the one that everybody listens to.
They don't watch sports.
Right. Probably. They just come, they come, destroy, and move on. And I think the Chiefs and the Braves are safe.
For fun and giggles, tell Gratu the new name of the Cleveland Indians and the Washington Redskins, but say both their names together.
The Guardian Commandos?
One is the Guardians, and one is the Commanders.
Oh, Commanders, yeah. Commanders.
Really?
The
I didn't
Guardians?
even know watching Redskins change their name. When did they do that?
This year.
No. Oh yeah, that's right. Because
they had no name.
Yeah, they were the Washington football team for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because that was Dan Snyder's last up yours to the league.
Oh,
but
wow.
then there's so much shit going on internally that even he finally had to bend the knee, and it's not enough. They're not going to stop until he's forced out. Which I'm sure Redskins fans will be grateful for, because the only fans Dan Snyder has are the other teams in that division.
But even Gratia, I'm assuming even someone that's not a sports follower, even names like Guardians and Commanders would have to seem ultra lame to casual bystander.
Yeah. And it seems like someone would find those words offensive. But it'll get to the point where all representation for native tribes is wiped out and they're not talked about at all. I guess that's what they want.
It's like looking at that Land O'Lakes butter in the aisles the other day, and they just completely removed everything except that dumb lake, and it's not the same. It just
it's terrible. It's awful. I think there was a Ray Bradbury story where they're on Mars and they've named all the hills and rivers after places on Earth. And the guy's wondering, I wonder what the ancient Martians used to live here, because they can see the ruins of their civilization. I wonder what they called these rivers and these, but we use, because we've always done that. We have all these cities and rivers named after the original Native American names, even though those Indians aren't around anymore or have been moved off somewhere else. We still use their names, and they're doing the same thing. They're taking the names to Mars from Earth. I don't know. He's wondering, we should at least have the respect, but we don't know the names they used. We could have at least done that if we know. Oh well, that was from. What story was that, man? I don't remember.
When you hear me chuckle, I'm not chuckling at you. I'm chuckling at the comments.
No, I'm just trying to see what this looks like on camera. Is this right? Oh, I see.
I'll answer that one. No.
Well, we've got to change that masculine guy to, let's see, Wilma Wingfoot. Or,
well, it'll be Wyatt Wingfoot, but he'll be played by John Cera.
Well, they'll never get far enough in Fantastic Four to have that character, I wouldn't think.
I did not read the comments, Michael. We were thinking the same thing. I needed a name with a W, and that's what came to my head.
Yeah, in case people didn't hear me, not Cena, Sarah from Arrested Development, Scott Pilgrim, that one.
And Gratu Macedon says he loves that story.
I'm trying to remember its freaking name. It was it's the one where they gradually turn into Martians. It's a metaphor for immigration to a new place, and you assimilate, and they're gradually turning.
Yeah. Oh, I think I've read that.
Dark they were and golden-eyed. That's the story I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I've gone 2.5 hours. Rod, are you still able to hang in there?
Yeah, I'll probably hang till 8 o'clock if we're on that long. Yeah. So, and then I'll call it an evening.
You joining us tomorrow?
The plan is to be here. Yes, sir, Bob.
Who else is on? Who else is coming in? Do you know?
I will never know until 3 minutes till. It is the great mystery.
At our age, a lot can change in 24 hours.
Right.
You've seen this picture, right?
Huh, yeah.
Early Batman.
It's scaring them. Wow. Yeah, I've had last week at the last second, Steve Charlton, he had to write me and say, "Hey, I can't make it." So things happen.
This is this kind of was disturbing to me as a kid. This Planet of the Creatures. It's kind of very. They've got. Let me see.
Oh, dogs.
Planet of the Dogs is like there's Charlton Heston, bare-assed, being petted, and falling in love by a fire hydrant. This is. I kind of just thought, what am I reading when I was a kid? Planet of the Birds. It's kind of like what's going on now, bird government. Oh, the birds are watching them, exhibitionism. Man, yeah, John Severin was pretty cool. Planet of the Horses. Planet of the Skunks, the Dolphins, the Ants. Oh, he keeps going. Planet of the Frogs, the Cats, the Tigers, the Pigs, and the Bulls.
Oh, Jackson.
They reprinted this story a bunch of times. What's he saying?
Jackson, really quick.
He thought it was Wednesday.
Oh,
Lost the day.
Well, don't feel bad, Jackson. 3 of the 4 of us did too.
No, I called Rod and I said, "Hey, you want to do something?" And he was about to go out and do very bad things, in the community, and I talked him out of it. So
he's a member of Antifa.
Hey, you said you weren't going to tell anybody.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, shifting gears here, we're talking about the show, the conventions earlier. One of the guys at the show Saturday or this weekend had about 10 issues of Bunny.
Oh shit! Excuse me.
No.
Wow.
Okay, and they were gorgeous. That's the good news.
Yeah.
He also had $45 a piece on.
Oh no!
Oh.
Don't tell people that on the internet; those will go up.
Now I'm asking you, where is there still a market for that kind of money for a comic like Bunny? Because there are 4 fans here. I didn't buy any of them. I'm not going to pay $45 for an issue of Bunny.
I don't know that I would unless the cover was, but I think I've got the best cover, that black cover with where she's dancing. I don't know.
Is that Bunny or Tippy Teen? The black cover.
Tippy Teen. No, there's one of if you pull up mycomicshop.com, Graphic Man, there aren't that many issues of Bunny. Maybe I could tell you which.
Oh, I can look it up. But then
the people watching could see it. I just saw an issue of Bunny in here, which is why I'm looking. The only audience I know. I mean, what would be your max? Where would you max out for Bunny?
I don't know. But I know 45 is above it. But
that's too much.
I need one issue of Adventure Comics from the Supergirl series, and he had one of those. He also had $38 on it. So, I bought the second issue of Silver Surfer from him for $10 more. And I'm thinking, really? Where is there the problem now? This late in the game, since the hobby has done a terrible job at creating new collectors, because comics aren't meant to be collected anymore. I mean, the new stuff is not. So, and the people that are reading the new stuff would find all this old stuff problematic.
Right.
So we're not getting them. Those of us that would like to be able to spend $45 for an issue of Bunny, probably we still have disposable income. We ain't got that kind of disposable income.
Oh,
and
definitely.
that'd be $45 that you'd want to put towards a Grail or something. And
right.
So I'm wondering, is there going to come a time? Because that's, because a couple of times since we've been doing this, I think I've had Night Tiger say, man, your prices are too low. Yeah, but they move.
Yep.
And I guarantee this guy. Well, there was a dealer there. He had like 2/3 of a short box of romance comics. Go check Secret Hearts, baby. You might see one tomorrow night. And I bought from him all 3 days. No one else did.
Oh wow.
And I bought the ones that he was selling for $5.50. He had some for 14, 15, 25. He went home with them all.
Okay.
This is Bunny number 2. I don't think I paid much for it. I don't think this has. But at Duncanville Books, back where I used to live, they were selling Marvel's Chili for like $35-$40. They were in really good shape, but and maybe that's the going rate. I don't know. It's like, who's buying them?
That's the question.
I would like to buy them, but I don't have the money for it.
Sure.
Who else? Comic Crypt of Castle Hills, possibly. And I run. I can't think of anyone else.
If I see them out in the wild and they're $6-8, and even if they're like rolled a little bit, that's fine, because I don't plan on selling again. So, but yeah, that's just $45. I mean, there's so many books. I think, especially since the people that are left, you get me in the feels, Jackson. I think so many of the books, when you've got everybody chasing the same keys, I just think that there's so many books that are just literally being priced out of existence. That there's just no longer a market for it. At what once upon a time would have been the going rate, or what it says either in Overstreet or Comic Realm or whatever the hell site people use. But I'm just wondering if at some point some of these dealers will adjust.
So everybody here knows that I'm a Gold Key fan, and I would love to have the whole run of Mighty Samson. And for about 5 months now, I've just needed issue number 1, but I'm not going to spend $40. I see it all day long on the internet, so I wouldn't pay. But that's not number 1.
No, but at least I was letting you know that I'm
good.
I picked a couple up over the weekend.
In fact, I don't even look for it anymore. I figure it'll just show up. I'm now concentrating on Boris Karloff, or Ripley's Believe It or Not, but and they're just as cool to get as the Mighty. Once I get Mighty Samson, that'll be great. But so I'm not going to spend that amount of money for a Bunny. Now, would I like Bunny? Sure. But I want Gold Key more. I want Mighty Samson more.
Right.
And I'm probably, if most comic fans want Spider-Man or the big boys, I'm sure I'm a much smaller group that just want, that would love Gold Key.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine the Bunny crowd is super tiny.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's too high.
Yeah,
I think $45 you could almost still get I've seen 1966, 67 Spider-Mans for that. I've seen Jack Kirby Fantastic Fours for that.
Yeah.
So you don't see Bunny very often, just because collectors don't want it or keep it in their boxes at conventions or in the stores. Maybe they're out there. There's no telling.
And I get the temptation to put those prices on there because they were beautiful. I mean, they were probably, 8 pluses. But
Okay,
then
well,
again, who cares? It's now. When I'm building a set, if I get to the last issue or two,
Yeah.
I will pay a little more just to close it out. But as I learned Sunday, $38 for an issue of Adventure Comics was more than I was willing to pay even to close that out. Now, I also need one Supergirl from that 72 series that happens to be number 1. I'd have paid 38 in a heartbeat for that, but just a filler issue along a run. I don't know where that market is anymore.
now if
for
he's
that kind of
priced,
money.
if he's priced him hoping that they'll make an offer of 35, and that's what he intends to sell him for all along, then I understand it. But I'm afraid his 45 asking price won't get many people to even make the offer, because a lot of people don't like to do that.
Right.
Yeah, I never have.
Confrontation. It's
Yeah,
a
I was never a haggler.
Yeah.
There's not people at a convention looking for Bunny. There really is. I don't think.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
At $45, there's a lot of other books that'd be in front of that line.
Yeah.
Before I get the Bunny.
This is the one I'm talking about that in really good shape would be worth 45, I think. I have this one.
All right, that is cool.
One is spectacular. It's probably
okay.
Let me see what the other ones look like.
I could see that, but I would say the others would need to be down to 30.
I mean, it is a very different comic. It is not just like an Archie comic. It's very weird. It's got a character called Super Hippie in there and Fruit Man. It's very odd and strange and cool. I'm trying to see what Lone Star prices are. 5.0, $28 with water damage for issue 9. I don't like water damage. Very good condition, $20 for issue 6. I don't know. What else did you see that was really spectacular at the convention?
Before you get to that, I just say Michael did a great job here. The Turok run, fantastic.
Let's see.
That is a great run.
As long as you don't have to get the 90s Turok too, then you're screwed.
That's actually not a bad series, though.
Is it? It's ugly looking. Just the covers looked ugly to me, so I never gave it a shot. Just because I didn't like the logo or the silver paint or whatever. But it's good actually.
Well, the early Valiant, that was where Jim Shooter landed before he wore out his welcome there too, and they had Turok. Dr. Solar and Magnus to go with some of their own characters, and they were actually pretty good. I would like to get those again, but when you get to our age, you got to start making decisions on time.
Yeah,
I mean the money's no problem because other than the last issue and maybe the first one on a couple of these, most of them are dollar box stuff. But if you find a place that actually sells comics and you run across a couple, go ahead and pick them up because it won't be more than $1. But as far as last year, there was a guy in a booth behind us that had $500,000 on his board, easy. I mean, whatever key you could think of from Marvel or DC in the Silver Age, they were on that board, except for Spider-Man #3, and he waltzed over into our booth and handed us $5,000 in cash for hours. But he wasn't there this year. So I heard somebody talking about, man, there was a guy that had Spider-Man #1. Well, 25 years ago, every booth had a Spider-Man #1.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I didn't get close enough to touch it, but I was at a show where there was an Action #1 once. That just doesn't happen anymore. I mean, I saw some the YouTuber Yellow Flash, it turns out, was at the show, and he did a drunk video talking about the books he bought, and he was pretty much just using his super chat money to buy key issues. Mm-hmm. But he talked about like Spider-Man 121 and 122. I saw a couple of those, but I didn't see an Action 252. I didn't see a Showcase 4. No early FFs or Spider-Mans. Nothing like that.
What was Action 252?
First Supergirl.
Okay.
Hey, Alan.
But just so it's the landscape has changed so much, and there's only, you could count the comic book dealers on both hands, and that's kind of sad considering, these at one point were comic book conventions.
Is it all Pokemon stuff?
A lot of toys, and there's all these little toys that go with Pokemon and Magic and this and that, and I'm sure there were a ton of people there to see Shatner too, who was there all 3 days at 91. So salute to him. I mean, that's, if I can wake up 3 mornings in a row, if I get to be 91, I will take that as a win. But yeah, it's just, and there's just not nearly as much comic related stuff as there used to be. Which also, again, if you're trying to get $45 for a bunny, and there's only a handful of comic book dealers, which means that there's, well over 50% of the people that attended the show didn't look at a comic book.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw one on mycomicshop.com where someone's got it on consignment where they can charge whatever price, and they've got it $80 for an 8.0 issue of Bunny.
But you're also, if you're on My Comic Shop, or eBay, you are selling to the entire world, and you only have to find that one person.
Yeah.
If you're at a show or at a store, you are confined to who walks in the door, and that's a huge difference. And I think sometimes, well, now the guy I'm talking about, he was a nice guy, but he said, he goes, I'm not rich, but I don't need the money. I do this for fun. Unfortunately, he has better. His stock blows my stores away. Maybe because you can't move any of them at those prices, but it's. But the $1 and $2 boxes are $5 and $10 now. And I thought if his 10s were 5s and his 5s were like 4 for $10, you'd sell a ton. But
yeah.
But it seems like a lot of books that would have been considered dollar books and stuff now, they're like $10 to $15 books now. Now, some of it is because of those movies and stuff like that whole deal. But some of them, I don't have any idea why they're gone up in price. It's like, really? That was, I swear I saw that in the dollar bin, a month ago or whatever. And all of a sudden, boom.
The price of gas, the price of food, everything is, how much does it cost for them to bring the comics to the convention? And so you can
I would think that would make me more apt to lower my prices to make sure I sell enough to make the trip worth it, especially if the money's already been spent. Some of this stuff has been around for years, so you at this point you're looking for some kind of return. But again, like I said, this guy says he doesn't need it, so I'm sure he did. He got a nice chunk of change from me over the 3 days. But also, there's a lot of the people that the industry still has kicking around are looking for everything in mint condition, but they're not looking for Bunny. So they're looking for the same.
They're getting on their phone and going to Key Collector app, or they're listening to Comic Tom and telling them what they need to get at 9.8 and what it cost last month versus last year.
Yeah.
And they're seeking those to put on their walls slabs so they can never read them.
Or in a safe somewhere.
Yeah, these are not, these are not us. And, so.
Yeah, a good $2 box, or a good $2, someone with like a handful of $2 boxes with like lower grade silver and bronze, that would make the show for me. And I'm sure, and I don't think I'm alone there, because there's there are the people that are looking for everything in high grade, and then there's people like me. I don't know how much there are in between anymore, but yeah, I said I was hoping to find one dealer like that, because like Steve from I Love Disney and Comics, one of the stores he goes to seems to have those boxes at the store. And yeah, I would love to run into something like that, either at a store or at a show.
Well, there's that store that Captain Strangelife went into with Spinner Rack and Time Travel.
Yeah,
it's right there in downtown next to some cool museum of magicians, and it looked like a comic book store from 1978. There were whole boxes of Wendy and Harvey, and it was, I didn't even know if they had bags on the comics. It was like they might have had a bag but no boards, and it was just like, wow, I wish I had access to a store like that where it just was, because most comic stores, they might have one issue of Wendy. Like one store out of 30 might have one issue of Wendy. They had a whole boxes of Harvey and everything.
And at one point, Strange Life is videoing time travel, and time travel is holding up a March of Dimes comic, and so you never see a March of Dimes where I live. But
it's not March of Dimes. It's March of. It's March. What is it, man?
You're right. I'm saying it wrong. It's based on the March of Dimes charity, March of Comics.
Is it? It's a little miniature comic, right? It's
March of Comics.
March of Comics, right? Yeah. And like some of them were like shoe store giveaways or something. I remember those when I was a kid. I have a few of them.
Yeah, that store had a lot of stuff. That's completely outlawed here where I live. Apparently, it's state law. You can't have nice books like that over here where I could get my hands on them. I say that all the time. You guys are probably tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of long boxes of Harvey, like Richie Riches and stuff like that at the store. I could hide $100 bills in those boxes, and it'd be safer than my bank.
Yeah. I wish I lived near your store, man.
Oh, yeah. I've said many times I would probably get to it before Jambo could get to it.
Maranya, speaking of, that book is going out probably tomorrow.
Wow, that's a nice deal there, Alan. That's awesome.
I got a box of war comics at a yard sale for $40. It was right across the street from my mom's house. That was the least effort I ever had to put into something like that.
Nothing wrong with finding a deal like that.
No. I'd like to find one more of those in this life.
There's a video I've been meaning to show you guys. Gotham City Comics bought a lot of Golden Age comics, and he has a whole stack of Westerns, and he put a video together. It's on YouTube, and he said, would you show this to your friends that are into Westerns? And I thought he meant Charlton 66, but it could just as easily have been any of you. And I wanted some of them too. I just, every time I forget because Charlton 66 hasn't been on. And would you like to show that video? It's a little short video. Just a slideshow of all these cool Western comics that he has in stock. There's not prices. I guess you call and ask him. Would you like to see that, or should I show it on my show?
You tell me where to go look. And
I'll put the background. Go to Gotham City Comic. Let me try opening another window and see if I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do like Paulo. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to do that, but I'll try to give you the name of it. It shouldn't be hard because he only puts up a couple of videos a week that show the new DC and the new Marvel. He's the guy I painted that cover for that Garbage Pail Kids comic for. And I was hoping I could trade something for some of these Western comics, but I did. Let's see. That would be okay.
While you're looking, Alan, that's a clock that I think it's just some old clock that somebody used to have a sports store where I lived, converted into a Reds clock. He painted, I think he painted a Reds hat and a glove. He did 2 of them, and I bought one of them off the guy.
Okay, it's called Golden. It's just go to Gotham City Comics. It's called Golden Age Western Comic Books from the 1940s, the 1950s. He put it up 2 weeks ago, so I guess I haven't been that negligent. 68 views. After comics should come on, he should be the new Batman because he sounds exactly like Adam West. I don't know if anyone's ever told him that. It's like Adam West is still alive whenever I watch one of his videos. I used to like to watch Adam West cooking turkey every Thanksgiving on Facebook. He'd give recipes and
Okay, I think I'm getting it. You able to see that?
yeah.
Wow.
You can probably make it bigger. Fill the, yeah, there you go. A little bigger.
Nice.
But he got some real big.
I have that one.
Did you used to have it?
I still have it. Yeah,
Please do have it.
that black cover. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great cover there.
ECG. Yeah.
There he is, the king.
Gabby Hayes.
But what kid would read a Gabby Hayes comic? That's kind of weird. But maybe not. I don't know. Who picks up that comic? You got all the other comics. That's the one you pick.
Oh wow.
He's just been shot.
That's more Gabby Hayes comics I've seen in my lifetime.
That one is cool.
Was he able to defeat Beaver Ben, the biting bandit?
You have to read it to find out.
Where's the store again?
Mesa, Arizona. He always watches my show in his store. I don't know how he hasn't been run out of business. Maybe he has it like the sound down or in the back room playing. I can't imagine playing my show on the store floor.
Oh, no.
Now that looks cool.
Yeah.
Looks like Gil Kane nose on that horse. That's a neat one too. I used to see Lone Rangers like that for $5 at Duncanville Books back in Dallas.
Mhm.
And they never sold because no one wanted them but me, and I couldn't buy them all. That looks cool.
Yeah, right.
Almost looks like John Severin art. It looks like the new Submariner.
Good.
Yeah, Billy the Kid did not look anything like that. The real Billy the Kid looked like some fentanyl guy on Kensington Avenue. He really was a deranged looking guy.
These are
That's a
really
good
these are
cover.
really neat, but again, there's the vast majority of the market for this ain't around anymore.
Yeah.
Wow. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny that anyone that speaks Spanish, they look at that and they just say stupid. Because
Two-gun kid. Gold outlaw. Oh, that's neat.
It looked like Kid Colt on that two-gun Western.
It was.
It was.
Oh, okay.
that's very generic.
I've never seen that one.
That's Flip Wilson's cousin.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's a good cover. That's good too.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That was neat.
Yeah. A lot of nice books.
Yeah, I like that store, man. I wish it was here locally.
Well, it's 8:15. I gotta grab something to eat, and then I gotta hit the sack, guys.
All right.
All right.
So,
Well,
Mike, thank you for giving me a phone call earlier. It's great to hang out with you guys. So,
wasn't that nice, Rod? We could show a little video there and not have YouTube shut us down. No.
yeah, really, that was pretty good. Yeah. YouTube cops coming after you.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm off, fellas. We'll see you tomorrow night.
All right.
All right, take care, everybody, and see you later. Everybody in the chat as well. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
We've got like famous people in the chat. I mean, like the people that are the original gangsters.
Yes.
I mean, we got like
Shannon. I'm kidding. Poor Shannon.
That's cool.
Hello, Silver Age Dave. Yeah, I don't know. Do we need to move to Tuesday night? But we get more viewers on Wednesday. So
Well, how many people are watching right now? What does it show?
16.
What's the average number you get on Wednesday?
It was 29 the other night.
Oh, really? But we're a little earlier. Maybe that's that's the trick. Maybe people settle down and start watching TV during prime time or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they're all watching AEW wrestling, I think. You should do like Eric does. Try to watch both of them.
I'm sorry. What else? Watching TV? What?
Yeah, exactly. Well, while I'm at it, tomorrow night, for those of you still with us, so we'll be on at 8 Eastern. And be sure to check out the 4-color fossils. We appreciate all the viewers we can get. We were just being silly tonight. This is not normal, but always glad to
define normal.
Well, Wednesdays. That's normal. And with that, I guess we'll probably shut down real soon. I'd like to thank Rod 2 and Eric for showing up. I think Rod and I would have probably gone another 10 minutes and then we would have fizzled out. But,
yeah.
But we tried to show a little video of wrestling. It did not work. So even though I've already ran it through YouTube once on a private side, they didn't seem to have any problem with it. But
someone had a video up this morning that they were complaining that YouTube standards are changing and they're getting more. They've got more little robots seeking out anything that could be. So they may be.
That's concerning.
Well,
because if I hit one of these alarms tomorrow night, some of that music may flare up something that would have been just fine a few weeks ago. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling in about 2 months we're gonna not even be like it's comic books $35. We're gonna be like, well, how do I get bread? Food, I just have bad feel. I don't know. I think everyone's got a feeling that something not too good is going to happen within the next couple of months, but maybe everything will be great. Seems like things are going very well in the world.
Oh yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I did find it interesting that where I live, gas went up 50 cents overnight.
Oh,
well, there were a couple of explosions in this Nord Stream pipeline.
Yeah,
which the press secretary calls the Nordstrom.
Well, she's got some shoes on hold there.
Yeah, so that's where that was Russia sending gasoline to Europe, the parts of Europe except for Germany that doesn't. Is that what that is? Is that what? Because I guess that'll be blamed on us. Was it us?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That seems awfully aggressive for our new military.
Well, I mean, it could be, right before the winter hits, So then if we're going to are we going to supply the gas to Europe? And then are we going to freeze? I don't know. SilverAge Dave says, each of you three show and tell something in your room that's uniquely odd or rare, please.
okay. There's that. That's uniquely odd.
Let me. I have to get up to do that. Uniquely odd or rare.
There's my Odin sleepover. My Richie Rich Volta mystery. There's Yogi Bear started up again, picking up where it left off with this issue.
How many things? 2 or 3?
I don't know what you're asking.
How many things did he want to show us to show? 2 or 3 things?
I haven't looked at the chat. I was busy.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It says it's gone.
Oh, it's uniquely odd or rare.
But how many? 3 or 2?
Just one, apparently.
Oh, just one. Oh, okay.
The three is us 3 people. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. I arrived on the short bus. All right.
Eric would point to
I was absolutely going to do that.
What are you pointing?
Just say right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gratu, you go right ahead.
No, this was sent to me by a friend of mine in California. He found it in when he was cleaning out this old store in the attic. It's the guide for returning books to the distributor, books that didn't sell. So it's from what year is this from? Oh, well, maybe you can tell by the titles. So you could, if you still have copies of Ace Comics number 5, you can return it. Action Comics number 14. I doubt that there's any other surviving copies of this. And he's got a bunch of them. He has one that has Detective Comics 27. You can return all the copies you didn't sell at this point. This has Detective Comics 14 on it. This is it's the distributors in LA, Los Angeles. So below in alphabetical order are listed all magazines appearing on the enclosed. So these are the ones you can return. If any magazine does not appear on this guide, either it did not come from newsstand and has not had a full 30-day sale. And in the back, they have the winners of the contest from different stores. I guess they did a good job returning books. Dad's Place in Tempe, Arizona. Let's see. They look like they're all in California, New Mexico, Nevada, Arizona. So they distributed to those places. But anyway, I guess there are pulps mixed with comics on here. G8 and his Battle Aces number 11. What else do you see?
Love Story.
You can return Doc Savage number 3. I mean, it's not. These were just like it was just left. There's Shadow number 3. These were just in the Nudist magazine number 12. You could return that. Smash Comics, Spicy Adventure, Spicy Detective, Operator number 5. Yeah, there are. He has a number of these. He sold a few for some, but he's just sent this to me free, just as a real nice gesture. He goes by Basil Orloff on my channel, but he's a musician. Been in several bands, and he's related to Basil Rathbone. But
yes,
he sent me this, and so this is something unique because I don't think many people have it. I should reproduce it somehow. I don't know how to frame it because it's two-sided. Maybe with glass on both sides. Maybe you got ideas.
No, I guess I got to show something physical. So,
okay.
Here's the She-Hulk number 10 I made with Betty and Veronica as the subject matter.
Yeah, that's great.
I'll be taking this to the convention in November and selling this, and hopefully at least 3 more copies of it. But that's that. So instead of just showing you images on the screen, show you something physical. But that's unique, I guess, to the room, to whatever. So.
Oh, and I wanted to say, there's a lot of comic book. I hate to use community. I'm not the only one. That guy with the beard that's famous, Friday night. Nerdrotic. He hates the word community too because
we're stuck with it.
But if there are members of the comic book community, great ones that are in Florida. Night Tiger was just on. It does not look good. I hope you guys are getting out. You guys need If anyone ever needs to evacuate anywhere and come here, because I don't think hurricanes hit here, you're always welcome to make a 20-hour drive here. We've got a little bit of room. But anyway, who's down there? It's like Metarog. It seems like half the comic book communities in Florida, and they're about to get slammed. Looks like. Hopefully, it'll dissipate. But I don't know.
Anglin lives in Florida.
Oh yeah. Shit. It looks like it's gonna between like near Tampa. Where's it supposed to hit?
I heard Tampa.
Like Wednesday or Thursday? No, well, it wouldn't be tomorrow. Maybe Thursday.
That's what I've heard. Hey, my best friend lives in Florida too. I should call and see if he's anywhere close to where it's going to hit.
Yeah, it really sucks, especially if you collect paper stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm going to load up all of these comic boxes in the Subaru and go head for higher ground. That's not going to happen. 2.5 million ordered out. I still look at Dredge Report, even though it's a communist site now. But I don't know, just an instinct.
I guess my question is, and go where?
Somewhere where there's not a hurricane?
No, but I'm saying, but you have to settle somewhere because you have to, eat, sleep, and poop. I mean,
yeah. I don't know. Florida is such a wonderful place, but they say that there's really not any place in Florida, no matter where you really are immune from hurricanes. So otherwise, it would seem like a perfect place to, I don't know.
Well, where I live, it's tornadoes, but
yeah, we get that here too. Yeah, I guess
pretty good so far.
Well, we just need to say a prayer for everybody down there, not just the comic book collectors, but everybody.
There's paperback dealers. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I mean humanity in general,
And given that's where a lot of people retire to, I mean, it's not the quickest to mobilize a lot of that population. And again, the older you get, the more pressing some of those needs are. And I mean, I said, it's not like everybody's got a spare house in Georgia.
Yeah, my wife's brother is in his 70s and he's in a mobile home, so I'm hoping he's moving out. She might be talking to him right now. I don't know. But anyway, that really sucks. Yeah.
Well, guys, we'll probably call it a day, and to see you guys tomorrow with a real, actual planned event. So, and I think I'll have to test a few alarms to make sure they're still YouTube compliant. So, until then, everybody, thanks for showing up on a Tuesday of all things, and glad to see you. And so, hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow night, 8 Eastern. Good night, everybody.
All right, take care.
Good night, kids.